heroes, I mean, or it's a little awkward doing 2 ranged heroes, but something like a sniper isn't horrible. You know, you can just stay at range, you can use the shrapnel to be able to even just secure perhaps a few range creeps. The issue is, though, it's Team Spirit. We don't know if this is going to be a collapsed Viper. Of course, it can be. He's gone deathless multiple times when he's played it. The Mirror, Tiny coming through as well. But we have seen position 5 Miposhka Viper come through too. So if you go too early down that route where you go into something that is only good against this specific Viper Tiny lane, Team Spirit can just switch it up and then you're caught off guard.
There's something quite interesting with the second phase bans, you know, because Secret, they're banning the Slaughter, so they're considering that the Viper could potentially be a position 5, and I think what triggers that is the Sky ban. I'm thinking, you know, why would Team Spirit ban a Skywrath? I think its team has... so there was a big trend with Viper 5 recently in scrims, pubs, officials, and I think one of the best counters that people found was the Sky, because he's able to outrun the Viper. He doesn't really get right-clicked by Viper and actually out-trades the Viper, right? Really? He uses concussive shot, few right-clicks, and as soon as that is done, he just backs off out of, you know, MS advantage. So this could be what's happening in the second phase. It's like, okay, they're looking at Viper 5, you know, maybe Slaughter coming up, we're gonna ban it.
So what are some of the other options that you're really seeing there? Things like Snapfire, Hoodwink, maybe down that sort of similar route where you can just out-trade, be able to use something like the Scurry to make the extra space away from it?
The way you want to deal with this Viper 5 is you want to have kill potential, because obviously if Viper gets to right-click you, it is really obnoxious and it can kind of feel helpless. At the same time, Viper is a hero, it's free food. You know, it just dies. So think of a CK snap lane, the second Viper show its face, it's just gonna die right away. So this is one way of dealing with this Viper 5. But yet again, I think this Viper is kind of meant to deal with the Chen. I mean, they must have expected the Chen to come, and to me, so far, unless they have a better reason to, you know, put it away from the offlane, I think we're looking at a collapse Viper.
Okay, interesting, because the Shaman also is another 4 that trades well with Viper, has a similar idea of Skywrath Mage, that he has overwhelming damage and kill potential, right? But we'll see what Spirit is thinking about.
Techie is always an option as well, maybe, if it's desired special.
There's another aspect to these two heroes, though. They also have instant silences disabled, something like that, so maybe they're thinking about Spirits or Pucks, right? Puck is still in the pool.
The Viper could have also been a block pick for the Timber, I'm thinking, because, you know, Secret, a lot of teams have banned Timber against them. They have first faced it a lot, and, you know, maybe they had a plan of, you know, Dawn into Timber first phase, and at the second they saw the Viper, then they decided against it. There could be other reasons for it. I feel like so far no team have really showed their cards yet, so what's coming up is going to be super interesting.
Dazzle, okay.
So that might mean that it's going to be a Viper 3, a core Viper, and the Dazzle position. I mean, we haven't seen the Dazzle run anywhere else than position 5 so far, I think, in this tournament.
In Eastern Europe, they still play it as in pubs, and then some officials been run both in Division 2 and some of the weaker Division 1 teams.
On what role?
On the offlane role. They still have a preference. Sunlight as well, who plays it plays in NA Div 2, has been running it as an offlaner as well, now NA Div 1. So there's some options. It has been a trend, like Danox says, in pubs.
Interesting.
The Hawk's been practicing it as well.
He has. He's been playing it a lot, but he's not in this game, so we'll see if he's able to make.
I mean, that means we don't see Dazzle Radiance, which is unfortunate for us.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, it's more laning presence, right? You look at the Viper, the Dazzle. I think Team Spirit, they're definitely giving the Dawns, and I mean, just Secret's playstyle so far, they always had a really strong laning phase. They did not the last game as much against Team Spirit, so definitely something Team Spirit does really well against Secret, and I think they're looking to, pull that off once again.
Okay. They've got a lot of options on Team Spirit. Like, this Tiny could be mid, you know, this Tiny could be 4. This Dazzle could be offlane, it could be a Viper 5, it could be a Viper 3, it could be a Dazzle 5. Like, there are lots of different avenues to go down, so I think Team Spirit are just going to be reactionary to whatever Team Spirit does.
I mean, the Jugger, obviously, it's a classic versus the Viper in the sense that if you're ever threatened by too many, you know, too many stacks on the Viper queue, then you just spin that off and kind of get back to a safer position. At the same time, I think it's a lane that you're just damage controlling the lane. You're not really pushing the Viper ever. I think you're just, you know, Viper is just burning through your region, and it's not a good lane for Secret. It's a lane that's meant to kind of suffer.
I want to question on that point, because, for example, a Lifestealer Viper matchup, if Lifestealer gets on top of the Viper with another support that has some damage, you actually do put some pressure on Viper. Can the Juggling be played that way, or does he lack that damage?
I think you kind of have to outplay them to get in that position. I think if the Viper Tiny is aware of what could happen, it's kind of too it's too predictable. You have this one play of Jug running
At you.
Yeah, I think it's too easy for Viper to deal with it. She's gonna pre-click the Jugger, you know, couple stacks. He's gonna be slowed. Viper's gonna back off in time, and Jugger's gonna lose too much HP, and eventually the lane is gonna turn out to be a disaster. What do you think about the Shadow Demon pick, though?
I'm trying to think of it, man. Like, you can just use...
First pick ever. No pick in the DPC either.
Wow,
ever.
okay.
Ever.
The
No.
DPC?
No pick in the DPC. The Shadow Demon, one of the few unpicked heroes in the DPC.
Really?
And obviously of the Storm as well. But it is a Zayat's old classic of his.
Okay. I mean, once you get to that Aghanim Scepter, of course, it's against the Bristleback. If it gets to that stage now, you can have the break. You can use the disruption to make sure that the Shallow Grave isn't quite as effective. Just lay down a few of those Shadow Poison stacks, and then they immediately die afterwards. The Demonic Cleanse is kind of okay with the Ag Shard against the Viper, means you don't have to waste that Q.
It's very good. Very
Against Dazzle too, actually.
Against Dazzle too, I don't think you even get hexed, or it's gonna be a 0.1 second hex.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Dazzle Shard here.
Yep.
I think Bristle into Shadow Demon, a little bit scary, a little bit. Obviously the Shadow Demon Ags is a break, and it completely destroys Bristleback. You need to get to that point, but I'm assuming it's gonna be Zayak Shadow Demon, and I'm sure he's gonna recognize that and try to maybe prioritize his own farm a little bit more.
Or at least stacking, which
yeah.
Shadow Demon fantastic at doing, right? So you're just going to be able to get a lot of that passive gold. Again, he's so comfortable playing along with Rezo, it means that they're going to have a good time in lane, most likely.
Yeah.
Again, depends how the support is really going to position themselves. But yeah, if you can get a couple of free kills in lane, you're laughing.
Actually, one of the best duo to kind of maximize their early game impact, and I think they're really good at, you know, obviously they have a lot of synergy with each other, so they're really good at, hey, I'm gonna be focusing on stacking. All right, you know, let's push in the lane. Let's play the lane in a way where I give my Shadow Demon enough freedom to go back to stack every time. And they were one of the few players to make the Batrider off lane work that well. They were playing Earthspirit Batrider, two really greedy laners, and they were getting away with it every game, thanks to the stacking. So I think if I had to pick one offlane duo that could really maximize the stacking potential of Shadow Demon, it would be Rezo and Zayak.
I'm curious though about the Bristleback pick. This is a much more common pick this tournament, but has it been addressed by Secret's draft, or do they need to pick a really good last pick?
I think if you just stomp the lane, it's kind of okay, right? Like you just need to get that level 6 up, reasonable timing on the Dazzle, then you're going to have the bad Juju for the minus armor, pair that together with the Quill Spray. It's a lot of physical damage, just gets amped up further and further. So I think they're going to need to focus a little bit on stacking too for Team Spirit, just to make sure that they're able to, again, continue to allow this Bristleback to snowball, take a lot of those ancient stacks, because if you look on Team Secret, we're mentioning that, of course, Zayats is going to be able to build up a lot of these stacks, but they've got two heroes that are pretty damn great at being able to take them in both the Juggernaut and the Dawnbreaker.
I feel like right now, the second phase of Team Spirit has not been addressed so well by Secret. I mean, it's kind of meant to be like that, right? Bristleback was the last pick of the second phase, but I think it's a very good Bristle game. Really hard to kill him. They had the Shadow Demon Ags later down the road, which is going to be very efficient. But besides that, they don't have a way to lock him down, so he's always going to get his back turned. You know, Chen definitely does not deal with Bristle. Bristle is more of a Chen counter. Same for the Dawnbreaker. I think they kind of ignore each other's, and the Juggernaut, sure, he has this one Omni Slash.
Oh, wow.
And it's the same for the Dazzle. I mean, now Dazzle got more just with the Storm pick. But, you know, Grave has a lot of value. They have only one way to get on top of the Dazzle. It is the Storm. Storm, a hero we do not see that often. It really, you know, got fall behind after the null changes.
Do you think they're just going to conquer again? Like, I feel like this is a game where Team Spirit just need to absolutely stomp them in the laning phase, right? You need to make sure that the Shadow Demon's not going to get to that point with the Aghanim Scepter, hell, even the Aghanim Shard, right? You mentioned before that the Viper Tiny is specifically there to crush the lane.
I think they need an instant stun, though. They need an instant stun. Okay, they go for the Pangolier.
Yeah. Somewhat there, if you go Blink Dagger on the Pango.
It's okay at being able to clear out a few of the Chen creeps as well, the big army. So it's an alright thing. I do feel a lot more confident in Team Secret's draft, though.
Yeah, this I mean, this Pangolier, I've seen it go both ways. Obviously, if the Pango has a really good game and he gets an early diffu, it can be really annoying for Storm, even kind of kill your entire tempo. But I think Storm has a pretty good laning phase against Pangolier, so it's going to come down to the support rotations. And I think that once again, the Chen and the Shadow Demon may be more efficient, more effective, I mean, at rotating around. I'm not quite sure. I think it's really going to come down to this mid matchup also, you know, who gets the most out of his lane.
Some lucky power runes even could be the difference maker.
Definitely. Storm and Pango, both heroes that rely heavily on power runes and can make a lot of impact with them.
Yeah, love that point because that was the two counters. Quap and Storm were the two counters. So the Pango mid meta where Call of Pango was the thing. And then will it work again? Well, we'll have to see here. How is your trust level in mid Pango in general right now, Dano? Do you think it's still strong?
I like it a lot. I think offlane Pango just doesn't really work, but mid Pango, you get a lot of those levels. You have the much lower cooldown. You're able to duck in and out of fights a lot more effectively. I think it can work.
Okay, well, we're going to have to see as Game 2 is upon us. I think the Storm is in the shot right now. And with its electrifying jump, we're going to go to Game 2 between Team Secret and Team Spirit. Take it away, Garrett Lacoste.
Yeah, Game 2, here we are as Storm's hat flickering in front of his face as we get ourselves underway. Spirit changing the tempo right, more in your face, run at you. Dota, Secret going for a similar style to Game 1 though, Lacoste.
Yeah, Team Spirit going for this Bristleback plus Dazzle combination. We're gonna run at you. They're focusing heavily on the laning stage. We see Tiny and Viper combo. Every single time there is a Viper pick from the offlane, you need to have some kind of a lockdown so they can't get away. So usually paired up with the, like Tusk, Tiny, Dawnbreaker position 4. Mid lane, Pango against Storm Spirit can be sometimes difficult. Like I don't think you have a kill threat on a Storm. There, you're playing like melee into Storm, so Storm should have definitely an edge in this matchup. But once you get to level 6, maybe like still looking in how that one's gonna go. Panel touched upon the Bristleback, the break mechanic with Shadow Demon Ags. It's a lot of farm. It's gonna take a lot of time for him to get there, and we're talking about breaking Viper as well, and yeah, getting into the game. We can hear the crowd as well.
Yeah, getting sucked into the Dota 2 universe. We're talking about Team Spirit being a very fast tempo draft, and Secret was so speedy, they'd already smoked and moved out of their fountain before I'd loaded into the game. They're so ready to get themselves across the river, get some early wards down. And Team Spirit doing a very similar job. Early ward in the Radiant Triangle.
This is something that LGD has done against OG, holding the high ground. It's being pinged out. Rezo, he knows something is up.
He's got a very good read on that. He was pinging right on top of them. And Team Secret just going to hold the low ground closest to their tier 1 mid lane. And expecting that wraparound play, like you say, we saw from LGD coming behind that top rune as the Dire team and backstabbing the Radiant ones.
Blocking the small camp.
Something that you were looking for in the previous game. This time does come to fruition. Rezo gonna poke his head around the corner and say hello to Team Spirit as they move on forward. Quick disruption though. Not even time there for Mira to level up. Avalanche, never mind, cast it. Still holding on to his point.
Shadow Demon. I just want to mention one thing. It's I think it's a good response to. You have another layer of save because you have a Dawnbreaker, you have Chen coming in with the heals, but also it's very good against grave targets. Someone gets graved, disruption, and then you focus him after. Team Secret a little bit limited on stuns and control. They have Electric Vortex and Dawnbreaker stuns, which is kind of meh. No real stuns. On the bottom lane, Juggernaut against Tiny and Viper, you have a built-in magic immunity. If you feel threatened about the poison attacks, you can try to spin it away. Poppy one more time on his chin. Starting with the same items, headrest. But this time around, instead of getting the aura, he is going for penitence.
Yeah, give the extra attack speed to the Jug if he's able to chase into people. Just peeking into that mid lane, Storm Spirit already heavily bullying Toronto Tokyo. Nisha 6-0, Pango trying to catch up. An additional 2 creeps arriving for the Storm though, as he should be able to hold this wave right in front of his tower. Allow the second wave to come up as well. That's really nasty for the Pango, who wants to get into the middle of the creep wave and then has to contend with the static remnants. And then up at top, Rezo there on the Dawnbreaker, of course. Zayat's the Shadow Demon. Yeah, back to him. You were looking for the OD for Secret at some point in that draft, right? Shadow Demon, a similar concept, being able to get the grave target, keep Bristleback away from charging.
Yeah, to have something better against the Bristleback, either that or I believe Void Spirit was also available, because there's not enough lockdown on side of Spirit. They have Pango roll and they have Tiny. That's about it.
Yeah, everything else very focused on that lane and the early tempo and momentum they can try and build up around the Bristleback and his item timings. Of course, like Vanguard, Aghanim Scepter, get Yatoro into a good place.
Nisha already picked up Water Rune in the bottle. Pangolier did the same thing. And we can see Nisha 4 CS ahead of Pango and catches him mid-air. Boy, Nisha, he's been on point. Like all these small things, using Lightning Bolt to stop Phoenix from diving. As you said, zoomer reactions.
Yeah, that's a sick little move there. Any one of those moves that is able to displace or shift the Pango while he's mid-air and the shield crash stops their spell from being utilized properly, while Yatoro, he is graved up, but he's got poison stacks on him. Already spent his stick. So Rezo and Zayat finishing off the Bristleback.
Going in for the Grave, trying to buy some extra time. A little bit surprising. Like, Grave's a good ability, but I would maybe prefer if that's a Shadow Wave, just to be able to like get that sustain, deal some damage, because Dawnbreaker is in your face, and that's going to be the first blood. Zayat's getting it.
Yeah, felt like they needed it as well. You know, Storm Spirit in that mid lane for Secret doing exceptionally well on the CS board. You see the other two cores, Dawnbreaker was having a few problems, and of course Juggernaut in that bottom lane, like the panel was saying, he kind of has to 1v2 while Puppey, the greedy Chen, is going to be farming his neck.
I would love to see Zayats going for stack in the triangle and securing the top rune, because Pango goes in, he gets a disruption, and he's already doing really good on Nisha, and then Nisha can't be the one going for the bottom rune. And taking away something from Toronto Tokyo, we can see Toronto already struggling on the Pangolier, going for that 3-minute bounty rune.
Yeah, has to track back into his own jungle for it. That'd be a good move. Accelerate Nisha even further ahead.
Zayat's trying to stack up. Toronto Tokyo showing himself full HP, gets the bottle, gets the water rune inside of it. Mira does the same thing, the mirror movement that we talked about.
He can grave it. Oh, no, he can't grave himself. The Centaur. Oh, cheeky little neutral creep comes in.
Thanks, I guess.
Helping out Team Secret, the 6th man. Resolution and Zayat starting to dominate this lane now. As we see a rotation coming into mid. Team Spirit want to make up for that in other areas of the map, but it's scouted out. Puppey has a Centaur Corsa scouting as Mira tried to make that move.
Nisha knows that Mira is missing, and he also doesn't have a small camp to farm. He would definitely love to have that available. Zayat.
Zayat's on the way out.
Gonna replenish the poison touch.
Keeps it going. Well, just disrupt him, stack the camp again, and run himself back. These stacks, of course, are under dire vision, so Team Spirit know that they're being built up and could be contested by the Bristle. Nisha has hit level 6 in the mid lane, though. Empty Bottle has stick, delivered tangos, and Observer Ward. So he'll be sticking around at the mid lane for a while. And he's got a sentry to deward his small camp too, because he's missed out on 5 minutes of farming that.
Puppey bought a sentry for him, just so that he can farm the small camp. Sentry's gonna expire anyway. You're gonna get it on the 6 minutes.
Oh, the thing's going so well top and mid. Someone's got to suffer. Crystallis 14-4 with 20 denies on collapse, but they're going on top. Miposhka slammed into the ground by Rezo.
That's the only kill they can get on the top lane right now, because Yatoro does have a Vanguard, does have a stick level 5, so a bit difficult.
But 20 denies on Viper, Lacoste. Collapse is having a cracking game, isn't he? Really punishing the Jug.
His Viper. Jug, 15 CS only, like lane dominator. This is looking a bit rough. They will need to find a way how to make Crystallis what he was in the previous game. I'm talking about like Nisha making the rotations, giving him the last hits, and kind of sacrificing his own game so that Crystallis can shine one more time.
Yeah, or even think about in the next few minutes maybe shifting him up towards top, giving him that top lane farm. As Resolution, once he hits level 6, we'll have the Solar Guardian to join fight.
Oh, the stacks are being pinged out. Toronto Tokyo, he wants to go in, potentially even bring Yatoro, because they caught a glimpse of it, that first ward that they placed down.
He can't do it alone. He needs some help from his friends. Well, Zayat is here, sees the Pango, shows himself, Toronto Tokyo. A couple of stacks of poison, there's the third one. Zayat's able to keep tabs on him. And the Pango is going to be forced to roll here. Won't be able to connect it onto anyone. It's a fully defensive Rolling Thunder to get away.
They see me rolling, they don't care. And this stacks now belongs to Storm Spirit, most likely, unless Yatoro decides to make a move. And here he comes.
Yeah, he's coming alone. He does have a couple of heroes backing him up, slowly moving up to this triangle. Miposhka and Mira trying to make their way across there. But now you see Nisha, Rezo joining the fray. And we're going to have a big old scrap in the Radiant Triangle. Yatoro spamming out quills, but Storm is in. Nisha dragging Mira back. Toronto Tokyo trying to deal with a creep wave in the middle of the river as the stack does get cleared out. A bit going to Spirit, a bit going to Secret. Not sure who got the most out of it.
The biggest winner of this is Collapse. Left alone on top of net worth, has power treads finished, and he has a Void Stone as his first item, just to have a little bit more mana sustain.
Curious.
Yeah, very curious. It seems like it's gonna be Orchid. He wants to be able to scale. So against Storm Spirit, pretty good item.
Yeah,
because they are limited in terms of lockdown.
Makes a lot of sense for them. Nisha, Zayat, they are eyeing up Collapse and a ball straight on him. Solar Guardian there as well. And the big target brought to his knees. The highest net worth hero for Team Spirit destroyed. Another crisp, clean execution from Team Secret. Toronto Tokyo wants to make a meal out of this. Secret have the first course, maybe now the main course for Spirit, but he's stuck between two pillars and he gets bounced around. The crystals. Not being a great one for the Pango.
You know who placed those crystals? It was Crystalis. He's the one who placed them to protect Resolution.
That's why they brought him in, yeah. He controls the terrain of the map. Spirit now with a couple of heroes down bottom. Toronto Tokyo, he doesn't know where he wants to be. Bit of a headless chicken moment. Do I want to go back to mid? I'm kind of stuck in the river. Now we've got Dazzle, Miposhka taking experience there, while the Pango with no ulti. Still down south. And Secret bringing numbers. Another ball in. Good avalanche. Mira trying to swing it back onto Nisha, but they've got the Vortex on the Tiny. And Spirit lose yet another small engagement. 5-0 start for Team Secret. And they have swapped Crystalis up to top now, so he's going to get that safer farm, the ability to fall back into triangle and be protected by the rest of his squad. While Puppey is closing in on that mech very quickly. 400 gold away.
That's a big timing. A lot of sustain gonna come out from that Chen. We're talking about the healing ward as well. Dawnbreaker ulti. Team Spirit, they will need to bring numbers. I'm not talking about like one extra hero. Potentially they need to bring like the second hero if they want to grab a kill. We already said they're very limited how they can control the Storm Spirit. One of the reasons why Collapse is trying to farm up Orchid. Also in terms of tower damage, they don't have much.
Yeah, very reliant on Bristleback having a good start and basically just charging in towards objectives. I mean, nobody has done any building damage, in fact. Zeros across the board. So both teams doing a nice job protecting their tier ones. As we see there, Nisha building into the Witchblade. Looking for that more right-click focused scaling build on the Storm Spirit. Refills himself and TP's out. He'll take the mid lane farm. And Zayat is in just behind him. Could get ready to make a move on to Toronto Tokyo. He'll spend a couple of spells to clear the wave. And Catapult should die.
They don't have much to control Pangolier during the Rolling Thunder. By much, I mean literally nothing, so that's going to be a good thing. The only one that can try to kill him is Juggernaut during the Omni Slash, and now the Mirror Movement. Team Secret making a rotation. Gonna go for that tier 1 tower. Puppey, level 6.5, about to be level 7. Finds Trust the Shovel one more time.
I'll see how many salves he can amass. He had like 6 or 7 or something in the previous game. Mira coming into mid with
instant D-Ward from Zayat.
He knows exactly what Mira's up to. When he's just holding out on that mid lane, spamming poison. I do still have a high ground observer watching into the triangle though. So if they do build up stacks for Team Secret, Spirit could be quickly up in their face. And Yatoro already making that move. Broken by one of the neutral creeps. That's not ideal, but Team Secret not taking that opportunity to jump in towards him, and they will. Avalanche toss, roll in towards Nisha, but he's vortexed up Mira, and Storm Spirit zaps away from danger. Still has a bit of mana pool, and it so cleanly gets away from the initiation of Team Spirit.
And nothing has been done with these two Rolling Thunders. This was supposed to be their big team fight ulti, their control in the team fights. Yatoro, Hood plus Vanguard this time around, having a bit even more sustain, a bit more damage block overall. That means that Aghanim Scepter is going to be delayed, but this is a big kill. They want to delay as much as they can. Oh, not in range to use the Shallow Grave.
Yeah, the Wild Wing pushes him out of place. Disruption won't save the day for the Shadow Demons, so Spirit gets something. First kill up on the board for them. Toronto, Tokyo, and Miposhka slaying the Zayat's Shadow Demon. But collapsed down for quite some time, delaying that Orchid, like you say, gives Nisha so much confidence to continue playing aggressively as he has been doing.
And he sees what Viper is going for, so immediately queues up BKB on a Storm Spirit. So that's going to be his next item after finishing off the Witchblade. Witchblade gives them solo pick-off potential. Like, even if they feel like they don't have enough, having Storm Spirit zip in onto the target allows just enough time for Dawnbreaker to use the Solar Guardian and connect onto the target. And Rezo, he's going for the scaling build.
Oh yeah, Echo Saber phase boots, but you see that Nisha.
Nisha all over the place.
I like the line from the fountain to the mid lane. Traversing out across the map, refilling his bottle a few times. Beautiful graphics coming in. And a lot of room for Crystallis, right? All of this noise being made around the Ancients, mid lane, bot lane, has allowed the Juggernaut to at least stabilize and pick up some net worth after his torrid laning stage against the Viper.
They're making him stacks. They want him to have a good time, drops the healing ward, will farm the Ancient stack. Toronto, Tokyo, getting very close to his Diffusal Blade. That's going to be a big item, so you can like burn Dawnbreaker's mana, burn Storm Spirit's mana, so they can't get out. Like even Juggernaut has very limited mana pool, so that means that maybe he's not going to be able to get the Omni Slash in a fight.
And these kind of slow and steady games, what? I see Team Spirit smoking now. Is this the right kind of move?
It
to
is.
just
They want Storm Spirit with this Orchid. Like even Juggernaut, if they can catch it. Puppey is ready with Mech and Hand of God.
Roll, silence, there on the Jug. I should be able to kill him off. Oh, maybe not. He's pushed onto high ground, gets the spin out, but he's killed off. Spirit.
I think they could have saved him with the Hand of God there. Initial heal 200. Maybe would have been enough for him to TP out.
And there was the potential. And off the back of that kill, Spirit straight into action on the tier 1. Team Secret not in any position here to really contest it, just allowing the tower to fall. They will glyph because it's a freebie glyph. But a couple more hits here. One, in fact, from Collapse's Viper. And this ward coverage from Spirit, you know, that one in the triangle, of course, found the Jug kill. But also the one down in bottom jungle. They saw the rest of Secret and where they were located, which allowed that smoke gang to connect so perfectly. I see Yatoro down at bottom now, Team Secret. He's about halfway towards his Aghanim Scepter. Not a hero they can particularly just go run out and kill straight off the bat.
They've been just farming up. They want this big timing on a Bristleback. Get the Aghanim Scepter, which is going to be done in 1500 gold, and then go for a smoke, get a pick off, transition then into Roche.
Stacking Ancients for himself. Get that timing a little bit faster. As Rezo holds out on the top lane. Zayat just in behind him in case danger comes, but again, Observer Ward sees everything. Team Spirit much more on the money with their vision.
Yeah,
but then
Observers have been on point.
Zayat's also on point with his dewarding, right? A couple of instant sentries have come out knowing that that's the place where if there were to be an Observer Ward would undo the moves they're making.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Having a pretty good read on where and how Team Spirit is going to make a move. Gotta give credit to Zayats for that.
That's been perfection. Puppey continues jungling. What's after his mech then? Go for the locket again? Is there something else he needs?
It is locket. Look at his little army. The Troll Priest with 15% heal amplification aura, a bit more speed coming out from the Kobold Foreman. And again, the Hurricane, a lot of value from that one.
So that heat map, you want to focus on the sort of paler, the whiter spots on it, because those are all the neutral camps where Puppey has been standing in. And you walk in between camp and camp. Decent timing on the blink there for Mira's Tiny, 17 minutes in.
Considering that he's 0, 1, and 0 means like no gold coming into his pockets from any rotations, but they did kill 2 towers, so at least something. They found the big boy Philly. Tiny will definitely hold that one. Oh no, never mind. I remember watching Toronto Tokyo stream because you one-shot the waves with Swashbuckle and Shield Crash, and he was holding the Philosopher's Stone on Pango just to get like more gold from it.
Yeah.
Because you don't farm with the right clicks. You only need mana.
Keep on scaling. Well, we saw there Juggernaut has only done, what is it, 266 damage to heroes this game. Needs to start picking things up, Crystallis. He'll get there eventually. No, he's now overtaken the Pango in net worth, slowly edging his way up. And this Viper, yeah, the Orchid has got them 1 kill, but in a slow game, they've invested into aggression and they need to see some kind of return on investment. Getting some more deep wards, hunting for Secret. But it really is just this beautiful dance Secret are doing. They are hiding. Yeah,
Dodging
Nisha in the trees.
Trying to get a BKB on Storm Spirit. Nisha will TP out.
Catch me if you can.
What a read. He knew exactly what's cooking. And now in the top lane, they can... I want them to prioritize Zayat's farm a little bit more than Puppey's in this game, because having that break mechanic and having charges on Demonic Purge is what's going to make the difference. Breaking Viper, breaking the Bristleback.
You know, Team Spirit, you know, TI winners, they're no slouches, but it honestly feels like they're playing against robots. Team Secret are just so good, executing their drafts to perfection.
They have been on point, reading how Team Spirit and where they're gonna move.
Yatoro plants himself in Radiant Triangle. Secret looks like they want to combat this. 2 heroes still up top. Zayats and Rezo not super near. But they will TP, return to tier 2 mid, and go for this smoke move out, as Roshan is a potential for Team Spirit to go into.
Creep dies, they know something is up. Dawnbreaker ready with ulti to join a fight.
Yeah, trying to de-ward and move himself through the triangle back towards them. Secret. Move the Wildling forward, Storm zips in, Dawnbreaker with a Solar Guardian, they've graved themselves there on Miposhka's Dazzle.
Oh, he bounces it back to the top.
Bounces it to the high ground, Anisha pulls away, safe and sound. He's not going to be found there by Team Spirit. They do get the Juggernaut though. Taken out by Collapse with a slow and the poison attack stacking up on him. No buybacks out, and Storm did die in the end. Mira, you're right, jumps back in. 3 down on Secret, and Team Spirit will claim the Aegis.
Now, for 5 minutes, they will do whatever they want with the Bristleback. They will try to punish these cooldowns. We're talking about the Omni Slash, Dawnbreaker ulti, Chen heal. They're going to be fight ready. They don't rely on any cooldowns whatsoever. And we can already see Team Spirit knocking on tier 2 towers.
Straight in towards it. This is the timing. The aggression will only become stronger for Spirit. And all those crisp, clean moves from Secret being undone. Rezo has to BKB and TP home. There's Yatoro. He's on that tier 1 tower again. Does have a speedy BKB there on Resolution's Dawnbreaker. 20 minutes in, a little bit faster than average. Crystallis has a lot of catching up to do though. Maelstrom, Yashi, yeah, but he needs his Manta and he's plenty of items.
No answer for Bristleback whatsoever at the moment. He's way too tanky, has a full Eternal Shroud. There's no break mechanic. They will need to dodge the Bristleback, try to kill the rest. Also in that fight, Dazzle did get the Grave off. Not a perfect sync with the Dawnbreaker ulti.
He had to grave himself. We are looking at Zayat wanting the Aghanim Scepter, that upgraded Demonic Purge, but if he dies like this, it will be delayed. Storm trying to focus Mira's Tiny, looking for the trade out for the grave. Miposhka saves Mira, and turning now onto Crystallis Jug. Turn into a piggy, Omni slashes into Yatoro, but Nisha's out of mana. Zips back closer, but still falls short. Yatoro diving. Aegis should be claimed up here.
The grave is ready.
And Mira straight back in. They pop the first life for the Bristleback, and burning through Puppey's Chen. Toronto Tokyo making short work of him. They lose Miro to the Dire Tower hits, but Crystallis and Rezo have no answer to Yaturo's tankiness.
And that's a fight without Collapse. Collapse has been farming on the bottom lane, trying to farm up his BKB, and they're like, yeah, Viper is missing. We just took a fight 4 versus 5, and we still lost it. But yeah, they did manage to kill the Bristleback, which is a bit surprising considering that they don't have like real answers for it. But once they respawn, so they gotta put off some pressure off their team for the next couple of minutes.
I mean, if you're diving tier 3s 20 minutes in, those towers do chunk away even at the tankiest heroes. Playing back into their vision though, Team Spirit heading down south for the tier 2 where the creep wave is already
Zayat's getting
towards
another observer ward.
He's de-warded so many wards this game.
Online video game with real people, you can't just talk.
7 from Miposhka though is out ahead of him. Only 4 from the Shadow Demon. And Spirit ready, prepped behind Yaturo. Front lining on the tier 2. Secret do not want to match this. They know Team Spirit far too strong, and it's only compounded there by the Viper picking up a BKB now.
Those tier 2 tower, that tier 2 tower is now gone, taking the outpost. They want to take the fight. The double damage is on Pango. That swashbuckle damage can be a bit overwhelming, and we can see the power of the Fusel Blade, burning the mana on Storm Spirit, like even Juggernaut not allowing him to get the mana.
Rezo. Yeah, BKB jumped to the low ground, TP out as well, nothing to cancel it. So Toronto Tokyo spending his ulti, but it's not that long a cooldown. He'll have it next team fight. No worries there. Well,
already in 60 seconds. Toronto Tokyo has Basher and his quick buy. That's going to help out with Juggernaut trying to spin TP out. Rezo that he already done with the 2 BKB charges. And, yeah, they even popped the glyph to be able to stop Crystallis from getting some extra CS.
Yeah, it's annoying Collapse, but he's going to TP out. Look, he's forced to TP as well. Collapse taking quite a lot of damage, in fact, just from that. Shadow Demon alone.
This is a big... They need to find a way to farm Aghanim Scepter on Shadow Demon. Unfortunately, they did not find Philosopher's Stone. This is an item that really does help out with the Shadow Demon. So we'll need to find a way. Right now, 1,400 gold only.
He's a good hero in his own right, but he's an exceptional hero when he gets that farm. Aghanims, Aetherlands, all the good stuff. Reclaiming their own outpost. Slowly trying to delay and weather the storm. That is being brought to them by Team Spirit, who are smoked up and heading into mid. Radiant scan connect on someone bottom, and Team Secret, are they going to get caught out by this? Zayat, he's hiding in the fog. Going to get scouted now by Toronto Tokyo, and it should be a quick and easy one over on the Shadow Demon.
We talked about the importance of Shadow Demon getting his Aghanim Scepter, but he just died. Bought an Ogre Axe, didn't lose too much gold, but still every gold matters, because right now, Team Spirit, they are ready to go.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Up to high ground. Force the glyph. Creep wave all cleared out. Toronto Tokyo actually running himself back. Mr. Carty, a little bit delayed. Late to the party. Very patient from Spirit though. We've seen plenty of mistakes made around Roshan and pushing high ground too early. They're making sure that they are absolutely 100% ready to break the base, especially against a team like Secret with buybacks available.
2 minutes left until the respawn, and they will have 2 Bashers. One on Bristleback, Nisha, zipping in, zipping out. He's going to be out of mana.
Yeah, he's going to get caught by Mira. The Altaro there, but the same with the disruption.
BKB is available.
Trying to buy time for it. BKB up with the Vortex around. In comes the Soul Guardian as well. Keeping Nisha alive. And hiding in behind that tier 3. Dawnbreaker trying to slam into Toronto Tokyo, but...
That's a lot of ultis used. This tier 2 tower is gone. They don't have what it takes to... Nisha with a little bit of a miscalculation there, how much mana he needs.
And Crystallis is going to try and push out the top wave. Getting what he can. Well, the map getting smaller and smaller. But Team Secret, they can't push out mid. Bottom lane's dangerous too. And Team Spirit plant themselves in that top triangle. And Juggernaut, I don't know, he's not caught up as much as I thought he would. He's still down at the bottom of the cores, isn't he? Secret, what have they done wrong here? Crystallis, he needs more room, or what's happened?
He's struggling. They cannot leave the base, especially now with these Bashers online. He's gonna get even less farm.
222 last hits. Barely ahead of the Pango. 0-2-0. He's not been involved in any of the team fights, and look at that difference. Pretty even in terms of neutrals and ancients, but the lane creeps, a 3 grand gap between the Bristle and the Jug.
Viper completely ruined him in the laning stage. You talked about the CS on Viper. He had like 20 or 30 denies. Nisha still finding some farm on the mid wave.
Can mirror jump him. He'll try to.
Dazzle with the shard will get the Hex.
Gets the Hex in there and he's gone. Beautifully executed out of Team Spirit. 1 minute with no Storm Spirit now, and Roshan is 15 seconds away from spawning. A huge opportunity for Team Spirit now. If they can get one more bonus kill, it's absolutely a freebie.
Toronto Tokyo ready to punish any kind of split push.
He's biding his time, but he lets the tier 2 fall. Juggernaut is about to show on this top wave, and this might be his undoing. Radiant do have an observer ward there, and well, Team Spirit, they're not roshing. They're pushing high ground, and yeah, still coming back to find the Jug. With the Avalanche toss, he's forced to spin, the roll comes in, but Crystallis has a little bit of backup from the Shadow Demon. The trouble being Yatoro and Toronto Tokyo. Oh, he dances circles around the Pango, but the bash
immediately
gets stunned straight up. Can't TP home. Zayats and Crystallis in so much trouble. Hand of God with a bit of heal there. The save from Puppy buys the time for another spin to arrive. Toronto Tokyo and Yatoro with Mirror arriving. They'll find another Avalanche toss combo. Surely they'll see him. No way they can get away from this. Crystallis is found, and down he goes.
It's a lot of time spent from Team Spirit just to be able to kill him. Also, commitment. You saw Puppy using mech, using Hand of God just to keep him alive, but that also means that the rest of the team is getting the farm somewhere. I'm looking at this Shadow Demon. Like, this is the big one for me, and Nisha as well. He's thinking about getting the boots of travel.
Oh, Mira. Tumbles toy forward. Good disruption, but I don't think he's going to be allowed to get away from them. The toss of the rolling thunder. Tiny's chucking Pango around the place. And Toronto Tokyo clears up Zayats while Yatoro has killed Roshan, grabbed the Aegis. Puts himself in.
Shard to Viper, so he can be the one dealing extra damage to the tower.
Right, yeah.
Right now, Team Spirit, they're feeling themselves. They want to go in, they want to take the barracks. 13 seconds until Jug respawns. It's very difficult. With this Basher on Pango, Juggernaut can't go for this split push. Like, he can't just sit in a base because eventually they're gonna lose. Nisha,
not again.
No mana.
He has to BKB. He cleared the wave, but he's gone.
Nisha's playing the previous patch where he thinks that he has 3 nulls.
Well, he doesn't, does he? He's gonna have to buy back and fight because they've lost their mid-tier 3 and the barracks. Oh, some sloppy mistakes from Team Secret here in Game 2. Team Spirit punishing them, showing that Game 1 may have just been a fluke. Tier 3 bottom, open the barracks. Crack this base wide open. Yatoro turns his back. Reza with a shard, and now the Omni Slash. Yatoro gets graved up, saved by Miposhka. And he does still have that Aegis of the Immortal to come back full HP and full mana. Toronto Tokyo trying to roll back into this Radiant base, and the Solar Guardian back defensively gets Resolution out of danger, but the Juggernaut always bashed up and stunned. He can buy back,
Avalanche.
But I don't see what Secret can do. They're being dived in their base. Team Spirit, they'll bail away with the Yatoro now. The Vortex in. The Storm Spirit tries to catch him, but he's graved up. He's perfectly fine. Oh, Collapse will die, but not before he killed off Misha. 3-man Avalanche in as well. Spirit are cruising towards this victory now. It's game over.
They're gonna call it no real answer for the Bristleback. Like, they try to go for buy some time, get the Aghanim Scepter done on Shadow Demon. Never happened. Like, he also did invest his gold into Shard, which is a little bit of a delay, but even without that 1400 gold, I don't think it would be enough for him to get to the Aghanim Scepter. Team Spirit did have a strong timing going for that Aghanim Scepter on Bristle, and yeah, completely ruined Juggernaut's farm in the bottom lane. He always try to play from behind, always try to farm another wave, and once they got these basher timings on Bristleback and mostly Pango, like he could have played the game that he wanted. Also a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes from Nisha, where he didn't do the math correctly, and yeah, gets stuck in the middle of a fight, forced to use a BKB, and in the end, Team Spirit does win.
One of those situations, you know, drastic situations call for drastic measures. Nisha's trying to make the best of a bad situation, but here in game 2, Team Spirit kind of saying to Secret, you want to play these long, drawn-out, pressure-filled games. Oh, we're going to take it to you. We're going to run at you. We're going to break your ankles.
They took things slowly. Like, they were not going for these early kills, because you do have Dazzle. At one point, Tiny was 0, 1, and 0. We're talking about like 10 minutes into the game. And then he got the Blink Dagger, got those initiations, especially in the last fight, getting 2 and then 3-man Avalanche.
We can play just as crisp and clean as you, because there was no franticness, right? It wasn't hectic from Spirit. It was really decisive, clean Dota. Now, a couple of kills here from Secret looked like they'd give them a chance to come back into this, but when your Juggernaut is so underfarmed and Resolution not able to connect really into any of these team fights, here a moment where maybe they could have saved the Jug and fought around their triangle. But Team Spirit bringing numbers time and time again, as we can head over to Arvo on the panel to break down game 2 a little bit more.
Thank you for that sign. What a viewer. And we would like to thank Aramco, of course, for providing us with these highlights. Game 2 goes the way of Team Spirit. As is tradition in this tournament, we either get 3 games or we get none. That's kind of the way. Team Spirit, they managed to win with a very exciting Bristleback. That's amazing, right?
QW, very exciting.
Wow. Dino. Seb, you spoke about this, you know, the whole way you stop Bristleback as we get this scoreboard provided you by STC. The way you stop this Bristleback is how do you prevent him from pressing Q and W over and over again, right?
Yes.
It didn't seem like they had any way to do that.
No, they did not, and I also think they didn't have ways to kill him.
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like it was a really good Bristle game. I feel like it was also a really good Dazzle game. Sure, it got addressed a little bit by the Storm, but then, you know, that's how Dota works. The Viper destroyed the bottom lane, which brought, you know, led into an early Orchid, despite Secret's best effort to slow it down. As you see on the scoreboard, the Orchid pickup was really huge, because it then stopped the Storm from being able to kill the Dazzle, and then enabled the Dazzle, which is, you know, I mean, if you look at Secret's lineup, the way they fight is they press their spells, it's single target. They're gonna Vortex somebody, Shadow Demon spells, Juggernaut, you know, Omni Slash. And that's kind of all they have. They don't really have team fight, and then that target just, it's already hard to kill the Bristle or the Pango with the ulti. It gets craved, now the fight is over basically, and you just get run down.
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little bit odd, especially on that Juggernaut pick. I mean, they picked this into a known tiny Viper lane, right? Like you did this to yourself, basically, on Team Secret. It feels a little bit odd. And another thing, Zayats, he had a good start to the game. The laning phase went pretty well, able to get that first blood, create a lot of pressure, made a bunch of stacks, but he was caught out a few too many times. He really needed to make sure he was alive, because if that's the case, then suddenly Bristleback can't run at you. Suddenly the slows coming out of the Dazzle and the Viper aren't a big deal.
I mean, I feel like the Secret lineup they needed, the problem is, the reason why the Shadow Demon is also getting picked off so much and jumped on so much is because he has no cores to kind of frontline. I felt like Secret, you know, they play these lineups where they have stable lanes and then they kind of group up together and it's hard to deal with. Juggernaut, really good hero at doing so, of course, with the healing ward, you know, the early high levels in the spin. So is Chen, but I feel like both Jugger and Chen this game, they were really shut down. I think it was just a drafting mistake by Secret where they probably did not understand that, because they saw the lane. This was the first pick Tiny Viper into the Chen, and then Secret probably just, I think it's just a mistake from Secret or Crystadis or whoever called for the Jugger pick. They thought the lane would be fine, and then they got completely dumpstered, which, yeah, I think they should have known, honestly. It just does. I just don't see how a Chen Jugger can deal with that lane. I don't think they misplayed. I think it's just theory-wise that lane just doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the options then that we could have seen here?
I mean, I was talking about the sniper in the draft. Again, just something that's able to stand back a little bit more, but it's not that frontliner that you were talking about.
Yeah.
I know we've hated on the hero a lot, but honestly, Troll Warlord wouldn't have been horrible this game, just because you're able to dominate the lane.
You need a, maybe,
lose the mid game.
You need a way to be aggressive on the Viper. You cannot afford the Viper to just right-click you. you need to be, if you can't threaten the Viper, you will lose the lane to the Viper. That's just how it works. There is no such thing as tanking Viper hits on any hero. So if your Go doesn't kill the Viper, I think you're in trouble.
So maybe, like I believe you suggested, putting the Dawnbreaker position 1 might have been the way to go about doing that.
It could be. There's also tricks that you can do with lane equilibrium, heroes that are allowed to push the lane and then pick their fights. It's probably too hard to break down how to counter Viper here. I would have to usually use the 10 minutes, but I'm sure they have other options. They need to put more respect on it because it was definitely Team Spirit's plan. They did not ban the Chen. They baited it, and it worked perfectly.
Now we'll see what they do in the third game, because we would talk about the fact that Chen has been priority picked for Secret for a while. This time, let them get away with it. They baited out. Do you think in the final game they're still going to put Chen, or maybe not Chen in the first phase?
I think the first phase, that's the issue, right?
Okay.
You have so many more opportunities to be able to address it. So maybe moving forward, they'll see if it lasts into that second phase. Of course, Puppey, so versatile with what he's able to play. It's just that his Chen is a tier above. So I think he just needs to address a few more of the potential counters.
Yeah.
And I think we felt also the Dawnbreaker in the sense that, I mean, we were talking about it. Rezo played a really solid game. Honestly, I don't think he was the reason why Secret, had a rough one.
No.
But there's only so much Dawnbreaker can do, right? Like, he had a really good lane. I think he even got the first blood, or I mean, worst part of it. They killed the Bristle, they killed the Dazzle over and over again. Dazzle Bristle, not the weakest lane out there. So I mean, I think he did his job. But so the point I'm trying to make is, like, I like the approach from Spirit to let the Dawnbreaker through and prioritize more on getting rid of the Zeus, countering the Chen. I really think that it's more about the Zeus and the Chen than it is about the Dawnbreaker, or any other hero for that matter.
And he wasn't even just like taking a lot of farm away from Crystallis, right? They gave Crystallis the safe farm after the laning stage and put Dawnbreaker in the more difficult safe lane that you get after that. And yeah, it really felt like he was still able to get a lot of that farm.
Yes.
Maybe there were a couple of times where he could have joined the team fights a little sooner, but it honestly felt like once the Shadow Demon was dead, the fights were over. And he was just like, okay, fight's lost. Let's try and not lose too many other heroes, like chain feed one by one. Let's get my farm and maybe I can carry the game in the next fight.
Yeah. I also want to talk about the styles, right? When we were on the other panel, we talked about how the Team Spirit has a style where they enable their cores. They seem much more like the Team Spirit Comfort than we saw the first draft, which seemed more like LGD, honestly.
Yep.
Do you like that as well?
Very much. I think it fits much more, and also the pace at which they played. They were always taking the fights to Secret, kind of fighting for the runes, invading early. We saw them contest the stacks really early. I mean, last game, I don't even know that they crossed the river in the first 20 minutes, even though they won the lanes.
Yeah.
This game, they had rougher lanes, but still, I think they're great players. They can click their spells as well as Secret can. They can take the fights as well as they can, as Secret, maybe even better, who knows. So I really want them to keep the aggression up, not necessarily go all in, but really play free, basically,
Yeah, and I know the Rolling Thunders weren't perfect out of Toronto, Tokyo, but his use of the Diffusal was. Like, so many times he was able to catch out that Storm Spirit, make sure he had no mana. A couple of times Crystallis as well was just in the middle of a team fight, and I was like, why is he there? But he had Spin-Off cooldown and he had Omnislash. He just didn't have the mana to be able to use them to its full potential. So big props to Toronto, Tokyo there.
Yeah, indeed. And also, let's talk about Collapse as well. He's been, well, the hero to a degree. We was talking about how he had found his hero pool.
Yep.
Last game didn't seem as much. This game with the Viper seemed to be impactful. I know he's known for these big team fight heroes, but how's he adapted his playstyle to these lane dominators? Very typical of Amar, actually.
Yeah, I think, he adapted really well. We've seen him play, Bounty Hunter. We've seen him play Viper now several times.
Razor
and every time he has huge impact on the hero. I think his item choices also are quite unconventional. They're just really smart. We've seen him do the Orchid versus Abaddon, Skitter's Abaddon, now Orchid again. I think he's doing great, and it shows in, Team Spirit's results.
Yeah, and Viper is particularly great because Viper has a break, like the one we're going to take right now. So let's wait for that game number 3 to begin. Stay tuned for game 3 between between Team Spirit and Team Secret. Welcome back. We're here with the last game of this series between Team Secret and Team Spirit, and this is the decider. One team gets to go home, or at least they're out of the tournament, and one team will make it to the grand final. LGD already said in the previous interview that we're looking for Secret or RNG. RNG is no longer an option, so Secret it is, I guess. But can Team Spirit funnel their plans? We're gonna have to find out.
I mean, either way is a hype result, right? Another TI-10 Grand Final rematch, or that rematch from the group stage where Team Secret were able to catch LGD off guard, get that 2-0 victory in very clean fashion.
I see. I am curious, but in this, first we have an obstacle, right? Which is either of these teams, depends on who you're rooting for here. For this last game, how is the adaptation from Secret going to go, Seb? Do you feel like that Chen is going to lose priority here for them? Is there anything they could do to Team Spirit's traditional form?
I feel like, I mean, I'm not exactly sure that that point is correct, the one I'm about to make, but I feel like Spirit has been drafting a little bit better than Secret has. That's the feeling I'm left with. Maybe Secret, you know, their players are playing incredibly well, and I think they could allow themselves to maybe have a wider hero pool when they look at what they want to draft, right? And they're smart enough, obviously, you know, the puppies and the resolutions, they've seen all the patches, all the ways of playing the game, and I'd like for them to have more tools to kind of deal with what Spirit's playing. I mean, if you think about what Spirit played game 1 versus game 2, you know, it was completely different heroes, different style. One game was very heavy on the team fight, you know, Kunkka, Phoenix, Warlock, the scaling with the Ursa. And now the second game, they went super aggressive, you know, Tiny position 4, the Viper, the Bristleback position 1, even the Pango, that's super high tempo. And I feel like Secret, they're kind of doing the same thing against what they go up against. I mean, of course, they're switching some heroes and whatnot, but I think at least in game 2, it really felt to me that they put themselves kind of downhill. It was an uphill battle for them to win, and I don't know that they have to be in that position.
When we were speaking with Misery in the OG series, he was mentioning the Viper, how you had such success with it in the group stage, you know, able to get multiple victories, be able to flex it around, whether it be a position 4, position 3, whatever you wanted, right? But Puppy, he's played a lot of Chen this tournament. He has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games of Chen so far. By far his most played. So do you think it's that similar mold where really there is only one way to play Chen, and these teams have had so much time to be able to look through it and say, well, actually, we think we've got the better of you?
Yeah, definitely. I think they're adapting. They're getting smarter about how to beat it, about also which heroes are going to enable the Chen. You know, a Chen with a monkey in a good lane is going to feel much different than a Chen with a jugger that is getting super pressured, because all of a sudden you feel helpless as Chen. You know, you cannot fix this lane. If you leave your carry alone, he's dying. You know, so what is it really that you're going to do? You have no slows, you have no stuns. Compare that to, you know, a Chen with the monkey that's having a great lane. Puppy gets to quietly farm his mech, or to gank, or to, you know, he can just, and Puppy's probably one of the best supports out there. He's been doing it for so long now, to just, you know, kind of be free to look at all 3 lanes and kind of decide for himself, like have a lot of different ways to impact the early game. He's gonna pick the best one every time, but if your lane is going really badly, you don't get that chance.
So they've got a couple of options there, right? Like, again, it's going to depend who has first, who has second pick, but like, do you go back to the well one more time? Do you try and pick up this Chen? And if so, you would think that maybe you get rid of one of these huge lane dominators like the Viper in the banning phase. You know, a few teams have been doing it. It might mean that the Marcy slips through, for example. I know you're not a huge fan of the Wyvern first phase ban, but, you know, something needs to change if you want to make sure that that just crushing lane isn't going to happen.
I mean, to be completely honest, it's not that I dislike the Wyvern, is I actually don't understand it. You know, I don't know what they're looking at yet, and maybe that I'm hoping that will change for me before tonight. But yeah, I think most importantly, they need to allow themselves to play more heroes. I think you have to respect your opponent. At this point, all the teams that are left in the tournament are very smart. And it's like, you tell them what you're going to play, they will break it.
There was another hero that you didn't understand, or you thought was lazy, as we called it, which was the Marcy ban from Secret. They've been running every time. It's curious, because after that Viper, you know, you could just ban the Viper, maybe try the Chen a second time, but they still keep to that Marcy ban.
Yeah, I'm really surprised about it. I quite disagree with it. It could be a Chen
Viper
thing.
too?
Yeah, now they banned the Viper to protect the Chen, which I think is smart. The Zeus is banned, so I mean, this is much better. I'll be fair, I'll be totally honest. I very much dislike the Razor and the Marcy bans, but yet again, that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I think, but you know, I could be 100% wrong. There's a reason why they're playing, and I'm I'm just commentating on that. But as for the Zeus, you know, it's shown to be really good, and the Viper obviously had a huge impact last game. So the heroes that are going to be left in the pool are the Dawnbreaker and the Chen that have been super high priority. I think the Tiny also is something you could look at for Team Spirit. So Secret's just going to have to decide what they want to play with.
I mean, doesn't Team Spirit just pick up the Wyvern regardless of what Team Secret do? Like, you're assuming that they're going to be prioritizing the Dawn or the Chen. Wyvern deals with both of them amazingly.
True, and they actually beat Team Secret's Chen with a Wyvern lineup. So it's definitely something that they could consider. And I don't know if Team Secret is really comfortable snatching the Wyvern away. First pick Doom. Now that is very interesting, very unconventional also. I mean, I'm sure it's the first time we've seen it this tournament. What could that mean? What could that be? They're just laughing. You know, they had something planned and they seem quite. These guys are not laughing. These guys, they got some homework to do right now because you know, you don't want to miss out why this just happened.
So in this tournament, at least for Secret, right, we know Zayet's a big Doom player as well. Puppey has done the 5 Doom before in the past. We have seen Rezo Doom, of course, very popularly. Does Nisha do mid Doom as well?
I'm sure Nisha can play any hero.
There you go,
game,
easy,
so
easy.
Yeah.
So
we've had 2 from Zayet's and 1 from Rezo this tournament so far.
So mostly in the offlane Doom. We'll see where this is gonna go because it does seem like a new strategy. Was it picked up before this early, Dano?
I'll have a look.
I
Talk
mean,
about other stuff.
one thing that could motivate the not really the Doom first pick, but the Chen as a 8 pick. I call it 8 because it's the actually it's not the 8 pick, but like I mean as a closing pick, the first phase of Secret, it's a way to not expose the Chen, which it's been abused in the last draft by the Tiny Viper opening, and you could only assume that Spirit they have an answer, you know, against Chen, a second answer probably, else they would not let it through. And now Secret, they're going to be able to pick the Chen on 8, I mean after the Doom, and to protect it with their second phase bans. That could be one way. I love the Monkey pick versus the Doom for many reasons. Monkey support bullies Doom in a one-on-one situation. Monkey core obviously does the same, and Monkey can just chase the Doom around the map. If it's a Doom 5, Monkey will go there. It's going to be a Monkey 4. If it's a Doom 3, Monkey will play position 1. And in the game, it's just a really good hero against Doom. Several reasons. You can place the Wukong, and Doom feels uncomfortable kind of going into the ring, and you know the Wukong to place the Doom because he will just die doing so. Monkey, one of the few heroes that can fight through a Doom also, just, you know, right clicks and getting the Jingu. Just a great counter to Doom.
I think both of these teams are just trying to like out-mind game each other, right? Because Team Spirit, they can play the Monkey King in a couple of roles. You can play the Wyvern in 3 different roles on their team, both supports as well as mid. And even the Doom, 3 different roles Team Secret have been playing it on. So we've seen it a couple of times on Puppey, and of course the other 2 that we mentioned previously. So I want to see if that's the avenue that they want to go down, like try and bait out this Monkey King, which is of course a fantastic matchup against the Doom. But if it's just a position 5 Doom, what does it really matter?
And I feel like we're reaching, you know, the la crème de la crème, as we say in French. Like, you know, really the best that you get out of the draft, because there's so many mind games. Teams know each other so well by now. You know, this Wyvern pick, it blocks the Chen pick. So Puppey is now asking himself, do I want to Chen into the Wyvern anyways, or do I switch it up? And so Team Spirit, they successfully managed to not plant the Chen and have, you know, Secret not pick the Chen, while getting a combo that they should be really happy with. I mean, Wyvern and Monkey, great heroes, good against Doom. Wyvern can just curse the BKB Doom to disengage, you know, and obviously embrace the target that has gotten Doom. So great hero against Doom, great synergy also, you know, the curse into the Wukong, into the stacks for the Monkey. I love the opening by Spirit. I think it's really brilliant. And, you know, keep in mind that they have second pick. So their second phase is usually stronger even than their first phase. And I feel like they did really well already in the first phase.
Here's the puck pick by Secret. That's going to be their 8th. Thoughts on this hero has been a little bit forgotten in the tournament. We talked about it, Danog, right, with the prevalence of the Tiny, not as many puck picks, but we see it back here. No Tiny as well on Spirit.
Insta-ban.
Insta-ban.
Yeah. And that is the strength of this pick on first pick. Like first pick, I think the strongest part of the first pick is this. You pick a hero and you get to protect it with 3 bans. So, you know, Puck is already great against Wyvern and Monkey. Tiny band.
Yep.
On the counter side to that, though, with the second pick, Team Spirit will have the first pick of the next phase, which is what they're banning to protect right now.
Yes.
They want to make sure that whatever they leave open with Team Secret to be able to have that dual pick in response, you're just going to say, well, we've taken away the worst of it, basically. I honestly, I don't hate both of these drafts. Like, obviously, Team Spirit, because of all the reasons that you mentioned, it's great so far. But Puck, probably one of the better heroes at dealing with the Wyvern as well. You know,
definitely.
Great way to jump on the back line, gets rid of a lot of that mobility with the Arctic Burn as long as you land the Dream Dream Coil. The silence is just so annoying to deal with, especially once you start getting talents into it. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky to play this Wyvern this game in particular.
And it's a way to... No, sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
No, it's like, I was just gonna mention that because I was building the point where Wyvern is gonna help deal with the Doom, but you know, it's this concept of like, sure, you counter the counter. It's like, now, it's kind of bringing pieces, right? It's like, okay, you got a Doom, I got a Wyvern. All right, you got a Wyvern, I got a Puck. So now your Wyvern is gone from the equation, my Doom is back on the table. It's a nice way to, you know, kind of counter each other's and make sure that my first pick Doom is still gonna be potent.
Yeah, and just on your point from previously, look at the bans immediately after the Puck. Tiny, it's all right in the lane, but it's the mid game that it's really starting to pop off.
Yep.
Ember Spirit, even though the win rate is terrible this tournament, it's great against the Puck in the lane. So maybe they'll go down the route of the Kunkka, something that Toronto Tokyo has shown potential of playing before. Maybe they go back into the Pangolier with the ban again, just because it's, again, a lot of physical damage against a low armor hero in the laning stage. Could be anything.
I'm curious as well about how the Puck matchup goes against the Monkey King, right? We've talked about the Monkey being the other counter to Doom. Is that good against the Monkey King? I mean, it can escape the Wukong's command, but the stun can come from trees.
Both can be decent against each other's. I'd say it's a little bit more Puck favored.
Okay.
You know, it's quite easier to see how Puck would mess with a Monkey. You know, the silence, obviously very evasive hero. At the same time, Monkey is one of the few carries that has like an instant stun on Puck. You can stun him from the trees. If you have follow-up, I wouldn't say it's the worst matchup for Monkey, but you know, it's definitely not a bad hero to pick Puck into.
Sure.
But I don't think Monkey is... It's not a terrible Monkey game anymore. It's not like you're playing versus a Bad Strider, for instance. That would be like much worse.
I've seen some people that like to deviate the Monkey King into more of a supporting role, because then
could be that too.
You abuse the stun, right? We've seen a lot of Orchid Monkey Kings, for example, from the trees.
And Mira, very, very comfortable Monkey King player. Yeah.
Exactly. There's the Scarif Mage as well to protect the Puck 100%, Ember as well. We still have Hexers in the pool though, and I know EU loves their Shaman. Do you think we can see that for Team Spirit, Danog? Or is it too revealing of the Monkey King flex?
I don't think it's too revealing. I'm a little bit worried that as a Shaman, until you get that Blink Dagger, you are a little bit more vulnerable. But
there's your answer. Instant stun.
Well, it is still open, right? Because Mipashka is one of the few players that have looked at the Rubik position 5, so it could still be a Monkey 4, a Wyvern mid, and a Rubik. So even though, for that team specifically, nothing is locked yet.
I think with the Wyvern, like, you can run it mid, right? But I feel like Puck is one of the better heroes, at least, of being able to deal with you. Like, even once you got your Aghanim Scepter, as long as you land that Dream Coil and you've got some damage to be able to punish the Wyvern, you don't have a ton of stats. You can get burst down pretty quickly. So the option's there, but I'm a little bit more hesitant about it.
So if Monkey King is a better core right now, looking at this draft, right? Do you deviate the Doom into maybe a 5 position so you avoid that lane matchup as well and you still have a useful Doom there?
It's a possibility, for sure.
Most likely they would look at a 4, I would say. I mean, I'm sure Puppy can play it, but it's more like Zayak is probably really wanting to play it.
Yeah, sure.
He's one of the best, you know, post 4 Dooms. He's played at this tournament and with great success. So he's probably like trying to convince Puppy. Sure, it could be good as a 5, but I think it's even better as a 4, you know. And down the Jakiro comes. So most likely we're going to see the Doom, you know, play in the offlane. And the Monkey, I mean, once again, it's about, you know, re-enabling your heroes that got disabled by the enemy draft. It's like, sure, you have a Monkey versus a Doom and it can get rough, but what if Resolution is playing a Bad Strider or Venomancer? Now this Monkey doesn't get to threaten the Doom as much, and now the lane turned again. So there are ways to protect the Doom pick still for Team Secret.
Just wondering with this Jakiro if it might even be a position 4? No, not a pos 3.
Are you sure? There's no chance? I mean, it does destroy the Monkey King completely.
It does a really good job against the Monkey King, for sure. But, well,
nice.
Maybe, might be the 3 Jakiro. I mean, you were talking before, Seb, about how you use the Cold Embrace coming through to be able to protect against the Doom. But now you just lay a Macro Pyre on top of it. You lay all of your high magic over time spells. It wouldn't be a terrible pos 3 game.
I love the Ench pick, and that's exactly what I was mentioning before this draft started. It's like, I wanted Secret to, you know, kind of get away from, you know, not be stuck with the heroes that have brought them here. Of course, it was, you know, a lot about the heroes, but mainly about the players, and they've proved that they're playing incredibly well. You know, I'm assuming this could be a Puppy Ench. It could be a Rezo Jakiro, by the way. Very good hero against the Monkey.
Yep.
With farm, very good also against the Winter Wyvern. You know, you buy the Witchblade. You have a lot of ways to scale into that. And Deepoppy Ench, probably one of the best Ench players out there, as well as the Chen. And of course, you know, Wyvern counters Chen. It is true in the sense that you get a lot of creeps. It's gonna kind of turn against you, of course, because of the Winter's Curse, but Wyvern does nothing to Ench. Ench bullies Wyverns, actually, and Ench also has pure damage to go on the Embrace. It's the same kind of style. Puppy's gonna secure the lane, pressure heavily the game. But now, you know what I mean? Like, I think they really adapted well to what Team Spirit is trying to do. So, really high-level drafting from both teams right now.
Yeah, but even now, Team Spirit, they're going back and adapting to Team Secret. Like, they're going with the Void Spirit, you know, one of those Yule Scepter builders. So now they've got multiple ways of that instant catch for the puck. It's going to be a really decent response there. And even against the Enchantress, right? Lots of AoE damage that's going to be able to take her out.
But at the same time, I feel like Nisha allowed this Void Spirit to get through. So, he has to be confident about the matchup. I'm sure they have asked him before they went to the Skyban, you know, okay, we picked the puck, how do we protect the pick? You know, what do you want to see banned? And he probably mentioned the Tiny, the Ember, and I assume he was like, you know, what about Void Spirit? I don't care, I'll crush him. So hopefully, you know, Nisha's going to be ready for the Void Spirit coming. I love it when two, you know, players of that caliber both think they're right.
Yes.
It's going to be down to Dota.
It's classic 50-50 matchups. You know, who is better, Void or Puck? Depends on who I'm playing, right? That's what mid laners
Probably
would
both
say.
said, I'll crush the puck, I'll crush the Void Spirit.
Exactly.
So please, have
Show
the
us.
fight. We're watching.
Yeah.
You know, to our greatest pleasure.
Final bans are coming here, so it seems like Team Spirit needs an offlaner. They get rid of the Slardar. That might be indicative of the last pick for Secret. Probably looking for a carry that's weak against Slardar. Melee carries here.
Crystallis heroes. What could it be? Bloodseeker is out. Monkey has been snatched away from him.
Jug is still there.
Jug is there. Yep. Slaughter notoriously good against the Jugger.
Yep.
Maybe some PTSD from the last games, or maybe not. You know, you never know. What does he play? He plays Huskar. I don't know that he would have cared about the Slaughter if that was the case.
Dawnbreaker's still in the pool as well.
Indeed, indeed. It's funny to see how, you know, it does tell the story about how Team Spirit has adapted to Secret, because both Dawnbreaker and Shen, their most played heroes with the most success of the tournament, have been untouched.
Yep.
I'm still racking my brain here, to be honest. I have no idea what they're going to do. These teams are just full of like mastermind, giga brain chads coming through on both sides, and it's really on the back of Silent there. You know, you can see him referencing the papers, making sure that he's able to try and just get that little edge out, because that's what it comes down to. Winner of this goes through the grand final.
Yeah, we're looking at a collapse hero. I think I'd like to see a Night Stalker, to be honest. I feel like it's one of the heroes that deals really well with the puck, also with the Doom. You get a vision advantage. It's also really good against the Jakiro. I think really helpless against Night Stalker vision. It's gonna help Monkey have a freer game, because for Secret it's gonna be about jumping. Team Spirit, they need the Rubik to die, they need the Winter Wyvern to die, but all of a sudden you're in the dark, you know, Dark Ascension, Night Stalker has the vision advantage. This whole team fight mid-game is gonna be really tough for Secret to play against.
Ooh,
so yeah, this is the situation where you might not want to play the Night Stalker, right? Into this
makes
difficult
it harder,
lane.
yes.
This or the Juggernaut were like the ones that if it came out, I was like, I don't know if you could possibly do that, because it is a great Night Stalker game. So again, this feels like one of those block picks where you don't actually have to ban the hero. Your pick on its own is enough to dissuade you away from wanting to go it.
It's a really scary lane to go against. I want to see Collapse, you know, man up and go for it anyway. It's so good for the game, but I mean, Ench Ursa, I can't. Probably one of the hardest lanes to go against, so I don't know if that is still an option.
Are you forced to go for like a good lane? Oh,
He
they
goes
are going to go
anyway.
for it.
I like the confidence. I mean, it is a great Night Stalker game, so I love the pick. I love the confidence. This is Collapse. Like, you know, they probably were doubting him. Are you sure? Bro, I'm a TI winner. I am sure. Give me the Night Stalker and just watch.
And
you know, sit
even
back, relax, enjoy the ride.
And he even has the ability to keep up in farm. Doesn't need to go this Midas build. You're up against an Enchantress. There's almost always going to be a creep available for you to use that Hunter in the Night on. So that's going to be really useful for him there, just to make sure he's keeping up with the rest of the cores after what might be a difficult laning stage.
That is true. How do you take it when you know the lane is, you know, it's lost theoretically, right? How do you play that lane?
I mean, there's a lot of work that Mira has to do. You know, pull the waves, kind of put yourself in a position where you give your Night Stalker a little bit of space, and sometimes you just have to accept the fact that you're gonna have a rough lane and look at coming back, look at something else, pressure other lanes. These guys have enough experience to get through it. I'm sure, you know, you see Collapse in the pop game, you counter pick him, he's playing versus counter picks and like all day, all week. He's gonna find a way. He's looking at what's more important is how do we win the game.
Yeah. Anog, what are your thoughts here? Do you think that they have what it takes to make sure that Night Stalker work?
Sure, let's play some Dota.
Let's play some Dota indeed, as we're getting ready for the last game. This is going to determine if Team Secret or if Team Spirit stay in the tournament. So, will Team Spirit Boundless Strike pour Team Secret out of the tournament? Or will Team Secret enchant us with their plays and take out Team Spirit? We're going to have to find out with Gareth and Lacoste.
And an enchanting segue from Arvo there, and you're going to love the state of Dota 2. People picking heroes into counter picks. The drafting level of these two teams just amazing. Lacoste, are you leaning one way or the other?
This is the elimination game. I'm a big fan of Night Stalker, I gotta say. I think he can get stuff done after the laning stage. Like we're talking about Ursa. Puck, like having silence on top of these heroes is gonna be very difficult for them to just deal with it. Like we were talking about the itemization, how much they're gonna be able to get done, and I like this is a third game. Void Spirit against Puck. Nisha scouting things out to see if there's any ward placed already.
Yeah, the confidence of these players, right? Like Seb was saying, Toronto Tokyo probably going like, oh yeah, destroy this Puck, and Nisha, the exact same thing the other way around. And of course, Collapse picking that Night Stalker into an atrocious lane, but we've seen this previously, right? Where we've had some of these melee heroes against the Monkey King, you know, actually get away with it with some lane equilibrium shifting from their position 4.
Both offlaners don't want to play the lane. Position 4s will need to drag the creep wave closer to the tower, and okay, a little bit of a pause here.
Yeah, we'll get ourselves back underway shortly. Sort out whatever issue there may be. But who was it? It was LGD that had some lane matchup that was going to be a struggle, but they broke out of it, didn't they?
It was against Enigma Galaxy. It was Doom plus Earth Spirit playing against Monkey King, and they found a way. And then they completely ruined Monkey, forcing him to get Hand of Midas and losing the game.
We'll see if Spirit can do a similar job here.
A lot of the time, what I feel about Ursa is similar to how I feel about the Troll, is where it looks like a good pick, but then the hero doesn't get anything done in the game. There's way too many counters, too much kiting. Yule Scepters, Haven's Halberd.
Even the Crippling Fear, if Night Stalker can get on top of him. And Puppey taking a tremendous amount of damage early on, but there'll be a Tango eaten and wanders back to lane. And it feels like we've started seeing a shift in these warding patterns, right? We talked about the Chinese teams at LAN, PSG, LGD in particular, that international play between teams. And we're seeing a lot more of these triangle wards early on.
Scout things out, potentially go for a kill, hold the high ground, but also scouting out the stacks. If there are any stacks being made this time around, they don't have heroes that can clear the stack, so I don't think both teams are going to be stacking the triangle anyway. Maybe the big camp, but that's about it.
Crystal is playing forward with the Earth Shock, keeping Mira away. And Puppey with that enchant level 1, just trying to chip away at his opponents. We saw a very similar move up at top. I was watching at the same time. Miposhka as well as Yatoro were playing up in the face of Zayat, who was bodyguarding the Resolution Doom. Very similar lanes on both sides. Monkey and Ursa. The archetype of hero that lane dominated with the stacks and the damage.
Ursa did play very aggressive first wave. I don't think they won that trade battle. Collapse making adjustment on his item build. 4 branches, Tango bringing Boots of speed to be able to outrun Ursa.
That's clever. Adaptation. Give you the upper hand here and there. And looking into that mid lane, that matchup between Puck and Void Spirit. Currently Toronto Tokyo out in the lead 7-2. And both of them very, very low on HP and regen, right? Waiting for the bottles to come in.
Fairy Fires are available, so you know these players are gonna overextend. Try to see what happens if they poke like one more time, if they use another spell. I like Void Spirit matchup against Puck, even though Puck has been one of the best heroes in the last month. Yatoro.
And Puck, one of those heroes against Spirits that's always been incredibly good. Knife's edge Dota in that mid lane. Yeah, Yatoro farming under his tier 2.
Almost impossible.
Tau does too much damage.
CS.
A little rough for him, 7-3, but a little bit ahead of his counterpart, the Ursa, who's having his own worries. But Enchantress will return to the lane with a little Wolfie. tag teaming up against that Mira Rubik. And Collapse. Just placing himself in front, force them back, while Nisha now getting the upper hand, it appears, in terms of the regen trade at the very least. CS is a couple ahead as well. Yatoro. Getting run at, not something Monkey King enjoys. He wants to be the one doing the running at, not being, as Mira getting found out by Crystalis and Puppey. The impetus, no, he stops. Stutter
Last
steps.
second, gets the magic stick off. Still, Collapse, 15 CS, very impressive. Doom on top of CS. Both starting with the boots of speed pretty much. And Resolution has a full wave to farm up.
Yes, beautiful stuff. We saw him in game one as well, be incredibly farmed, getting the most out of his lane.
Zayat did a very good job playing with the enemy creep equilibrium. We saw Yatoro struggling to get some CS underneath the tower.
14-5 Yatoro. The difference between this Wyvern and Jakiro is apparent, isn't it? Jakiro can just shove spells on the Wyvern, especially if Arctic Burn's on cooldown. You're doing so much more harassment back into them, as it looks like Collapse going to take a few swipes again. He does have those boots, like you mentioned, to deal with that kind of aggression, so he's able to get himself away from them. As Mira was going to grab the Water Rune. Toronto Tokyo bottles the top one, so no refill for Nisha.
Big moves from Mira, securing the lane for Night Stalker, keeping back, not dying, using the stop function, very powerful.
Still gonna die though. Oh, maybe not. They find him in the end. Puppey with a final touch, but a good attempt by Mira to drag the Ursa away. But Puppey well positioned there.
Collapse also tried to use Void on neutral camp, so maybe they get in and get the deny, but didn't happen. Also, I put it out to Mira because he TP'd mid, refilled the bottle, also secured the rune for Void Spirit, which is pretty good. Still, Puck having a good time. This time around, they didn't belong to small camp, so Nisha will be farming that one as well.
Time for some vengeance here, maybe. Oh, Puppey, tanky enough, gets out of danger, and Crystalis trying to 1v2 Collapse
6
and Mira
charges
now.
of Fury Swipes.
He's stacking them up, but nighttime comes. The clock strikes 12, and Collapse, a strike of midnight, speedy. Maybe even going to turn here with a Fade Bolt. Collapse is he looking for Enchantress? She's nowhere nearby. She's already bailed on this bottom lane. Looks like he might be wave dragging, farming in between tier 1 tier 2. Collecting as much farm as he possibly can.
Radiant's bottom tower
Puppey
is
drags
under
it to the
attack.
small camp.
Pulls it across while Nature takes a beating there. And Miposhka Yatoro. It's just constant harassment out of this Jakiro and the Doom. He's got phase boots up on Resolution already.
Monkey King does struggle against the attack speed, overtime damage. There's no Scorched Earth, but one that's back online, they might start to play a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, they can throw the Infernal Blade in towards them. Another Dual Breath will take Miposhka low.
Also, they found the best creep mana aura, mana
Oh,
reach
yeah.
2 with the Jakiro. That's going to be constant pressure. Miposhka using the healing salve on himself. Yatoro's very low.
Yeah, it's a spooky place to be, and look at Zayats with his positioning. He's got one value point in the ice path.
And they see him with the ward that they already placed.
Knowing exactly where he is, while bottom, the first rotation, the DD Rune Void Spirit clears through Crystalis in that bottom lane during this first nighttime, so a good move there to help Collapse in his laning stage.
Courier is being pinged out. Deep
Dire's
Observer
middle
Ward gonna
tower
scout it.
is under attack.
Puppey knows.
Crystalis will move the Courier.
He's got a Centaur tracking back. Watching Mira on the retreat while Nisha comes top. Snaps the coil. Got it onto the two of them, but Monkey King safe on the canopy. Focusing the Wyvern rather.
Top tower is under
See if they can do a bit of damage and chip away at that tier 1 while Puppey down bottom. Toronto Tokyo stuck around, so him and Mira give chase to the Enchantress. Another little freebie there. 2-2, 7 minutes in.
is under attack.
Yatoro did very well, snapping that coil immediately, jumping onto the tree. They lost vision. A lot of damage on this tower. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to defend. We see Wyvern deeping out. Usually Wyvern is one of the better heroes that can do it, but
Yeah,
it's damage has already been done.
Yeah, they clipped
Catapult
their way.
is still alive.
Barely.
Can he get the deny? Not gonna go for it.
Oh, we might try now. He's waiting. Oh, but resolution is there. And they know the Wyvern in the trees is an easy target. Rezo unable to catch up to Miposhka. Of course, going for the Hand of Midas on the Doom to accelerate his farm even further, along with the Devour.
Doom becomes ridiculous in the mid and late game. The amount of farm that you get, it's also damage output and removing one of the cores from the game.
I was like, oh, it's 25 minutes in. What's the Doom got? Oh, he's got Midas, Blink, BKB.
And
Halfway to Refresher.
Yeah.
Zayat looking for the monkey, nearly had him. Nisha gonna Waning Rift in onto them, and another two-hero coil. Focusing Yatoro as Resolution's arrival should clear through him. Or the Monkey King life sealing up. The Doom now finally arriving.
Can he get a
finish
deny?
off
Yes,
the Monkey.
he can.
The deny from Mira. Wonderfully done as they swing back and punch into Secret. The Astral Step and a double kill for Toronto Tokyo. Well, collapse. He's hunted by the bear, but it's not a spooky bear. Little teddy bear.
Is under attack.
They
Runs it
lost
back in the jungle.
Monkey. He's gonna respawn full HP, full mana. Still chasing Mira. Nisha does have Illusory Orb, but does not want to go for it. Was hoping to get a rune.
It looks so decent.
9-minute rune. He's
Out-clicked.
Toronto got it.
He did indeed. Astral Step, the last one remaining. Nisha, he wants this pretty badly. Chasing forward. Doesn't jaunt to the orb. Hiding in the trees, Toronto Tokyo's going to bottle up, and Nisha stuck here with no resources. Being blasted down by the Splinter Wyvern. The Boundless Strike and the jump back in. Nisha couldn't evade the danger in this jungle, and Secret, twice in a row now, playing aggressively and losing out.
Super deep into enemy jungle.
And collapse.
Losing 2
He's going for the
fights in a row.
1v1.
Crystallis.
He's winning the fight.
There is no enrage for 10 seconds. Collapse getting a solo kill with the freshly bought armlet.
I thought Ursa countered the Night Stalker, not the other way around. Armlet first item, 2 minutes faster than patch average.
Collapse performance has been top-notch, I would say, and it's gonna take out this tower. 220 damage, 10 minutes into the game.
Nisha wants that top rune real bad. They'll coil the two supports. Mira has to hand his life over to Secret, but in comes the Void Spirit, blowing up Zayat. Nisha under the guise of invisibility, trying to chip away at Toronto Tokyo. Crystallis arrives as well, but he has that escape ability through the Astral Step.
Ursa joined the mid fight. I thought they might go for Roche, considering that Crystallis just moved with the Alpha Wolf. Maybe Alpha Wolf could have tanked Roshan. He does have a Morbid Mask for sustain. Furious Vibes were available. Still respecting Wyvern and also Void Spirit. Night Stalker, no HP whatsoever. Needs to go back to base and heal up.
Was that Monkey King buying the tome? Feels like
I think he did, because he was level 6, 10 minutes into the game.
I mean, Rubik and Wyvern already level 6, so they're all right. Give the Monkey King a little bit of a leg up to catch up to where he needs to be. Currently bottom of the cores in net worth. And Yatoro trying to get that Echo Saber up online. Playing down into the bottom
Rezo
jungle.
loves using this voice line.
Yeah, he does. I think he can use it sarcastically, he can use it genuinely. Those are the best lines. Multiple contexts you can use them in. Spirit smoking out their tier 1 mid, but it is spotted. As Zayat's pinging it out. They caught a glimpse of them moving. And Puppy's going to tank it. Look where he's standing. Well, he moves away from the staircase. He wants to go
Those
farm.
creeps look juicy. That small camp, extra 20 gold.
But this could mean that Nisha dies. He gets the phase shift out, jaunts to the orb, very quickly removes himself from the bottom lane, but he's got so many heroes chasing him. Puppy tries to heal up Nisha. The Witness Curse comes through though. They get the coil out, but the Puck about to die. Miposhka and Yatoro, along with the rest of the Spirit, aiming towards the Enchantress of Puppy at this point. No escape available. Resolution and Zayat were kind of getting close to that fight, but not fast enough.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe they could have used this long fight. This was 30+ second fight for Ursa to go inside the pit, because he is inside the triangle, and you always threaten this Roshan kill whenever you're playing a Radiant.
Yeah, a bit of missynchronization there. in terms of the macro play, that map control. Even if you lose that fight, if you get Aegis, it can be worthwhile. Ice Path and Macro Pyre expended by Zayats to kill Miposhka. Get rid of that Winter Wyvern. Oh, look at how aggressively Toronto Tokyo is playing. He's feeling himself.
Don't mind me.
There's about 300 net worth behind the puck, but doesn't seem to matter that much. He'll get himself that Yule Scepter shortly. And a Fairy
Trinket, going for Yule Scepter, kind of a natural build-up whenever you play against puck, and now you even get more benefit because you want to buy time inside the coil, dispel the silence, and also against Ursa's Enrage, it's also a setup for your Remnant, so perfect item.
Ah, spot on. What's the move from Secret then? Because it feels like they're being smoked at, run at, ganked at. Do they sit and wait and try and fight back, or do they make a play of their own?
They're still 3k gold ahead of Team Spirit. Waiting for the Fusel Blade. I think then it's a go time. Dire using a scan, knowing exactly where they are.
They lift him, they catch him. The stolen coil was that, in onto the puck, and the Enchantress, the green lines show it's the Rubik's catch and kill potential from Mira. Finding Nisha and Puppey.
Night vision. Miposhka using Arctic Burn immediately. Scouts things out, and then Night Stalker also with his unobstructed vision.
The perfect move. Secret being caught unawares. And this is now control of the Roche Pit, pushing mid-tier 1. Shoving Secret away from their triangle there. As you can see, 3 heroes offset from the triangle on the left-hand side of the map. Trying to rally themselves into a position where they can maybe defend the mid-tier 1. That is nasty business though. A puck TP will force the Team Spirit boys back now, but Mira is the only one caught in the coil, and Nisha's jumped forward aggressively. A great curse. A kill on Mira comes out short, but you've lost your Nisha puck now. Oh, jump out of Toronto Tokyo. He's doomed up, but he's slipping away. The grasp of Team Secret is slippery.
Fine.
They can't get any traction. Monkey King with a Wukong and a 3-man boundless. Yatoro, he's back to the high ground. Ursa can't deal with a cold embrace, so Secret, what do? You move forward aggressively, you're gonna lose resolution in a second. Toronto Tokyo dissimulates on him, collapse back in again, and down you go.
Oh, what a team fight from Team Spirit, not losing a single hero. Miposhka coming in with a clutch Winter's Curse and then healing people up. Toronto Tokyo, not enough chase potential. They're still not done.
Chrysalis as well. They just keep on chasing the Wallwing Ripper, hurricaning him around, and another pick off for Spirit. 15-5. Sure, Secret have a mild net worth advantage, but the game
definitely doesn't feel like it. Whenever you have Doom, you need to be able to chase them down, go onto that target and kill it. Without Puck, they don't have that hero because they're like we're talking about Jakiro, Ursa with no Diffusal Blade, no Blink Dagger, so he can't chase people down. Toronto Tokyo comes back into the fight, playing.
Waited out the Doom.
Yeah, playing on the 20% HP. Next rune is spawning. Let's see who gets it.
Right. Really beautiful stuff. Our Team Spirit. Now the net worth lead is theirs. Diffusal Blade, the timing for Secret. They are building up and getting to a point where they can look for these fights and pickoffs. But Collapse is an ever-present threat on the map. 4 more minutes until daytime. So that's 4 minutes of panic and fear.
Bottom. Can they get him? Not really. It's Monkey plus Rubik. Rubik has Enchant stolen. Not the best Rubik game in terms of like spell stolen. You would want to go for Dual Breath, Ice Path, potentially Doom, Rezo.
Straight on it.
He's gonna drop.
Ice Path misses. They're also hunting the puck. Nisha caught up. Will be able. Oh no, he won't. He's dead. I thought he could jaunt to the orb, but he's out of there. Zayat's being pummeled into the ground by Team Spirit, and a double kill for Yatoro.
Collapse having a perfect game. I love the itemization when he started in the lane, 4 branches, going for boots. That armlet allowing him to get a solo kill on
Puppey.
Ursa. And now with the Blink Dagger, maxing out Crippling Fear, only 2 points in Void.
And he's got the shard as well, eating and munching on the creeps, and that's basically what the Enchantress is at this point.
Night Stalker shard is not gonna use the word OP, but it's so good. Like it doesn't allow Beastmaster to play the game that he wants to, and also it does allow you to get in and out of the fights, especially if you're fighting near the triangles, so you can get more HP back, eating the ancient creeps.
Team Spirit have absolutely woken up here in this series. Game 1, a little bit messy. Team Secret were very crisp, but Team Spirit showing the exact same traits. Every move has been precise, deliberate. They know what target they want, and they know exactly how to execute and cast their spells to kill them. We'll see a smoke from Secret.
Has a full BKB after disassembling Echo Saber.
Oh, he does. Secret not going straight into Roche. They want to get to kill first. Crystallis. They see the monkey, they got the tree, they got off the BKB. The Fury Swipe still stacking up with the cold embrace by time for him, and in the back lines, Collapse, he's hunting, finding Nisha, the puck is down. The stolen coil again from Miro as the Wukongs arrives, and Yatoro, he might lose his life, sure, but he's gonna turn around and fight with the help of the Yules, he's still alive. The Mischief bought a bit of time, and Crystallis, one more touch. The move from Miro, not enough. Crystallis under the Glimmer Cape, he's away, no, he's not. Collapse has his number. A huge fight for Team Spirit. Resolution in trouble.
And Miposhka.
He's just got an ultra
Give him the
kill.
rampage. That's gonna
Give him the rampage.
One more hit.
Go on,
That's gonna do it.
Collapse.
We talked about him having a perfect game, and now he's getting a full rampage. Miposhka in a good spot to be able to use the curse, buying some time with the cold embrace, but good reactions from Yatoro, getting that BKB. Ursa locks onto him, 11 charges off Fury Swipe. We're probably gonna see that again, and yeah, gets the Wukongs, gets a couple of dodges with the Mischief, barely dies there, like he was so close to living.
And it all starts with this, yes, Collapse has had the perfect game, but Mira's stealing coil after coil after coil. That's 4 coils or so. He's been able to get in these team fights. Hunting in the backlines, like, yeah, the monkey drops, he gets his BKB off. Toronto Tokyo baiting and drawing attention on the left side. You can see there, Nisha's puck obliterated by this Collapse Night Stalker. Perfect execution from Team Spirit, and Yatoro, he does die in the end, but it is all so worth it.
Night Stalker untouched in
The
these fights.
diving!
And
Look at where they are! Puppy! Usually he's king of the castle. He's been dethroned in his own base.
I don't know how you itemize on Puck to be able to survive against this. Yatoro still chasing. Because you're playing against Silence from the Night Stalker, you're playing against Winter's Curse that can't set things up for any kind of follow-up silence. And then there's gonna be Aghanim Scepter on Void Spirit in another 500 gold.
Oh, is there?
So Nisha also doesn't know what to buy, has Armlet queued up.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
So he does. Go Scepter Armlet. He wants to role play as Collapse. That's such a such a great game.
We saw Spectre today with the Spirit Vessel, and now we might see Puck with Armlet. 2022, what a time to be alive.
Nothing surprises me anymore. I mean, anything is possible. A smoke out from Nisha and Poppy might be able to spot Toronto Tokyo here. Waning Rift collapses in though, and Nisha and Puppy overextending greatly. They bring Crystallis in, but he's dragged back by the telekinesis. Wukongs from Yatoro, gonna catch him with a boundless strike. They'll hold out for now, wanting just to pick up the pieces. It's Puppy, pummeled. He's not powerful. He's got himself a heal and a Glimmer Cape, but the 2 cores of Team Spirit, okay, they'll leave her be. Let the Bambi escape. Focus on the rest instead. Crystallis forced away to his tier 1. They did get the Doom out, but Resolution, trapped in the middle of 3 Spirit heroes, has to BKB and run away. Good cold embrace and a great Winter's Curse. Miposhka, he's caught 2 of them next to each other. Ursa's gonna kill his buddy. Zaya's dead, and another team wipe incoming. The Ursa being blown up, Arctic Burn to slow, and Toronto Tokyo with a beyond godlike streak.
I don't know, Team Secret, they just collapsed. If you know it.
I know what you
if
mean.
You know what I mean. This Night Stalker is massive. 13, 1, and 10. Going for the Bastard next.
Oh, look at this. Nisha. Oh, yeah, can we see Nisha side by side with Collapse? Because I feel like Collapse has been on Nisha 24/7.
Stunned now. There's not much he can do except using the voice lines. Can we check the hero damage? I want to see how much damage Ursa has dealt in this game. I think when he locked onto Monkey King, that was like half of his damage in the fight. Yeah, 5.8.
A third of Night Stalker's damage. Stolen enchant, which thereby steals the creep from Puppey. And Roshan, unlocked by a couple of these kills, Team Spirit just waltzed straight into the pit. Nothing to stop them. Secret looking dejected. A 10k lead, 32-8. It has been a one-way street this entire game.
Nisha thinking about what's gonna happen in next 65 minutes. He had Divine Rapier, Butterfly queued up at one point. Yeah, he's just trolling.
I try and buy an E-Blade, but it's again one of those situations. What can you do? There are so many options, and so few of them are gonna be game-changing or fight-winning. I can't find those little edges. Team Spirit have made sure that they are a well-oiled, well-tuned machine.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Every
attack.
cog whirring in symphony.
Top tower has fallen.
Puppey and Nisha just clearing out mid-wave. I mean, tier 1 still standing mid and bottom lane. If they can get an objective, a bit of influx of cash into their pockets, and maybe Secret can start feeling a bit more confident. Puppey's going to deny yet another rune, regen removed. As Rezo sits in behind his tier 2 mid. But look at who's storming across the map. Toronto and Nipochka straight on to Puppey. Fine. A simple, quick and easy. Oh, it's
not
quick,
that easy.
And it's
Hold the
not easy.
locket plus the Glimmer Cape.
Tank
Using
the edge.
everything. I feel like they're just gonna ignore Puppey in the fights. Go for the rest. Crystallis needs to finish off his BKB. He's so far away from it.
Desperation gonna start kicking in. What does he need? Another 1200. Then he wants the blink after. Then he wants the basher. 9,000 net worth on the Ursa. Night Stalker Monkey leaps and bounds ahead.
Night Stalker's level 20, 25 minutes into the game. His damage output is insane.
He's a monster. Oh, did they saw him? They caught a glimpse of Nisha. Did they find him? He jumps away. Moving on to Mira. Rezo BKBs. Self-Yules there from Mira and the Wukongs to buy time. Safety play from Spirit as Collapse goes in, slaps down the Jakiro. Zayats didn't last very long. Munches up a creep.
2 Yule Scepters against Ursa, against Silences, set up for the Remnant. I don't think Ursa gets to play this game. He had 25 minutes. It's not gonna get any easier for him.
We're gonna have to start rethinking how we talk about Dota 2. The position 1, 2, 3. You know, the carry from the offlane is becoming so much more prominent now.
This
Collapse
is
in this
basically
game.
a solo kill.
Yeah, just kill Crystallis, easy as you like. He's the carry now.
Daedalus would have survived there.
So he needs to upgrade, does he?
Yeah.
Go for the rebrand.
Only level 1. Night Stalker all over the place. I don't think you can ask for a better game. Seb mentioned it on a panel. Looks like a godly Night Stalker game, and Collapse shows why.
Yeah, boy, was he right. Dire Ward spots Puppey. But yeah, like you said, right? You can poke at him, you can prod. If you kill him, fine, but don't want to expend too much trying to take down the Enchantress.
Puppey trying to pull himself with the Hurricane. Too much damage.
Beyond godlike on him as well.
We had a lot of these
61.
similar games today, Gary, where after 10-15 minutes you feel like how the game's gonna end, and it's all about pickoffs, getting that lead, getting even more lead, controlling Roshan, getting Aegis. Aegis gonna expire every minute.
Knowing that your opponents are going to have to do desperate split pushing, trying to defend their base, Jakiro inside the Wukongs. Clear through by Mira and Yatoro. But you know that Team Secret, like you said, they've got a split push, they've got a puck, they're going to be hiding in trees, looking for that wave clear elsewhere on the map. So we could start to see the Tinker Wards, Night Stalker moving around with his vision. Get the catch on some of these sneakier heroes. Rapier's queued up again for Nisha. We'll see if he gets there.
Collapse hunting in a position this time around, not gonna find anything.
Still a good attempt. If you get that one kill, you could turn it into something bigger. Bottom tier 2 could be cracked wide open. But the Radiant Ward, I think, spotted him incoming. He cuts the wave.
500 damage with Armaton during Dark Ascension.
20 odd minutes in. Top lane taken over by Secret though. They are getting a little more farm the past minute or two. As Team Spirit are playing tight together, looking for that clash, a big team fight around an objective like this bottom tower.
I like what I see from Nisha. Queuing up double Divine Rapier with Ethereal Blade.
There could be more as well.
Yeah, one of the best combinations. E-Blade and then can attack him with the Divine Rapier. He's having fun. You can tell.
Upgrade the Witchblade.
You can, yeah. But that's going to take another 45 minutes, if not an hour.
That's time he doesn't have. Wukong's catch on. Chrysalis, chain stunned, he gets the enrage out, but the Winter's Curse is there on Puppey. No one to hit into him, so just a remnant drag back from Toronto, Tokyo. Another pick into a potential for high ground push, but no, it's patient again from Spirit, just calmly waiting. Here is that split push from Secret. Cutting in behind waves as Spirit make their move. They know there's blood in the water here. The Sharks of Spirit getting up onto high ground, tier 3.
Not that much tower damage from Spirit, so Yatoro needs to man up and go for the tower.
Stand on top of the staircase. Tier 3 will be taken down. Collapse helps him out. Brings in that bonus damage. Secret, do you let this just fall? I'm going to TP back and start the defense. Range barracks sat at 37 health.
Unhealable damage.
That's true. Come back for round 2, finish it off.
Now they will suffer.
Here's the systematic play, isn't it? Just topple the dominoes over. Go mid, go bot. But daytime comes. Night Stalker's worst enemy and a smoke from Secret. This is their big chance. Miposhka scouted, they know he's there. Gets Lincoln's put on him though.
Protection, all about holding hands together and keeping an eye on everybody from the team, even position 5. He's the one holding gem, 5 sentry wards as well. Team Secret does have 1 observer ward, scouting things out near the outpost, and that's about it.
Yeah, sneaky ward there. It's more than just the buddy system, isn't it? It's Team Spirit, a great read, knowing that Secret, one of their last chances there during daytime, is a 5-man smoke to connect into a team fight, so they stay as 5 together. Knowing no one is showing on the map, no one's split pushing. Don't give up any areas of that map over to Secret as we wait for Roshan, and when his timer is going to announce the respawn.
2 minutes.
Quick little hop, skip, and a jump from Toronto, Tokyo to clear mid-wave.
Yatoro will finish off Bloodthorn, so another layer of silence for Puck. Also great synergy with Wyvern's Curse. If they use it close to anyone, you know the target is dying.
Secret. I can go and farm it. Yeah, another wave or 2 bottom if they realize Spirit are all planted up top lane.
Miposhka, 8 sentry wards and a gem. This might be a bit too much.
He's prepping for the end of the world. He's got that warehouse stocked up with tinned food. He's in a warding battle with Puppey and Zaya, so don't blame him. But hello, goodbye, say goodnight resolution. Collapse turns day to night. Zayat's being hunted now as well by the 2 of them. Toronto, Tokyo straight towards the Jakiro. And one by one they die again.
There is a region for Toronto, Tokyo. Has a full BKB going into Lincoln's. Nisha.
Oh, he's going to get caught. No, ooh, they didn't see him there.
Oh, they thought he jumped, but Nisha sneakily TP'd away.
Clever boy. Secret just wanting to try and hold on to what you've got. Grasping at straws a little bit. But I do have the potential with, with this Doom, with this puck. Find a pick onto someone, but it can't be the Monkey. I don't think it can be the Night Stalker. You're going to aim towards your Void Spirits and your Wyverns. Stop those teamfight chaos creators from doing their job.
Roshan is up in 10 seconds. Team Spirit will definitely go in, take it. There is no Dark Ascension for 60 seconds. Maybe they need to wait until that's back online. Secret needs to do something about it. They cannot allow Spirit to pick up both Aegis and the Shard.
That's the signal of the end there, if they let them get that. And 1 minute 40 until night. Spirit in no rush. They can bide their time. They know they are so far ahead now. They're basically playing Secret's game against them. We saw this systematic play style. Keep the pressure up. Don't allow the split push. It's never comfortable for Secret, so they have to go.
This is the move that they need to make, but they are already scouted.
Immediately spotted in the pit. Crystal is still trying to go for this. I'll roll himself out there with the Earth Shock.
Very low on mana. Has clarity to work with. It's going to be nighttime in a minute. 38 seconds on Dark Ascension duration. So in 20 seconds, full nighttime for another 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, seems like it's go time. 5-man smoke. Here we go, collapse. Pops the ulti, looking for the target, jumps straight onto Rezo, Abyssal Blade, but he forced out the BKB.
Gets the bash.
He's gonna get the bash and the stun, control on Rezo, he's done. Buys back straight off the bat, as Jakira launches damage in towards them. Eposhka dies, will return with a buyback of his own, but Yatoro focuses the Enchantress, and Collapse, he's 1v3ing. He's got the silence on Rezo, he's just pummeling him to the ground. Yatoro will join in as well, hunting the Doom down. Miposhka and Toronto focusing the puck. Nisha in trouble, he's done for too.
And they call
it's game over. Team Spirit with an absolute hammering of Team Secret.
It felt like this game was over for over 20 minutes. They could not do anything. Collapse on a Night Stalker. I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen better Night Stalker performance.
Ever.
Maybe ever. Yeah, I'm not even lying. I'm not trying to hype this one up, but he was all over the place. He made Nisha's life miserable.
I mean, we're all going to run out of superlatives for him. We've used flawless, spectacular, splendid, tremendous. Albo's going to have to get a thesaurus to try and figure out another word to explain.
Yeah, absolutely. They will need to find some new words to try to figure out how to call Collapse, because not just in this game, but like the whole tournament, he's been overperforming.
Beautiful stuff. I mean, from group stage, right, Team Spirit, the only team to have Secret's number, to take a game off them, and here proving that they are still worthy of the TI champion status. And this tournament, the top 3 teams, top 3 at TI last time, weren't they?
That is correct.
Yeah, repeating things.
That means some of these teams are pretty stable. They know how to stay on top, but this also means that Team Secret, they're out of the tournament. They are going home with $425,000, which is pretty good money.
Yeah, $500,000, and now we've got LGD up against Team Spirit, playing for $1.5 million in the grand final. I mean, that's going to be a great one, isn't it? We've seen this patient play. The drafting style of both of these teams has been spot on. What are your expectations going into this, though, Lacoste?
You know, this is a BO3. If it was a BO5, I think we would see a lot more experimentation. We still might see, because both of these teams, they have variety of the heroes that they can play. As already said a couple of times, especially for PSG LGD, that they can turn the switch and just play something completely different in Game 2, in Game 3, if necessary. They've been on point throughout this tournament as well. So two gigantic teams, TI10 grand finalists playing against each other.
Yeah, they're all learning from each other as well, as I think we can pass it over to KP.
Member of Team Spirit, the one, the only, is Toronto, Tokyo. That's the support we need. All right, first of all, congratulations on the win, bud. I've got to ask about the hair situation. We've seen your teammate do this before. Is this an experimentation before the major? You know, if this works, if you win this event, are you going bald for the major?
Yeah, I changed the hair, as you see. I had my barber in Moscow, the city I live. Then I had to move to Belgrade, so I don't have the guy who will deal with my hair, you know. And I didn't do anything with my hair for a long time, and then I think, why not? Some like I was bald once in my life before, and I liked it, and why not? Yeah.
اللاعب عندنا تورونتو طوكيو من فريق تيم سبيريت بعد فوز كان جدا قوي معنا في المسرح. السؤال الاول اللي كنا بنساله اياه انه هو حلق شعره صفر بسبه خسارتهم في الميجر الماضي، وهو كانوا السؤال متركز على انه هل حلاقتك هذه هي الشيء الاساسي اللي بيخليك تفوز الجيم ولا لا، لانه مجرد ما حلق شعره قدر انه يفوز المباريات كلها، لكن كان الجواب متركز على انه حلاقته الشعره كانت مجرد ان الحلاق حقه ما كان موجود، وقال خليني اجرب شيء جديد، ليش لا؟
And you know, also before I come here, I check the weather, and it's like plus 50, and I think I will not be alive with this. I will not go through it with long hair. So yeah, it's helping though.
سبب ثاني حلاقته لشعره، يقول اني شيكت على الجو في السعوديه، والجو درجه الحراره دائما تكون فوق ال50، فقلت انه ما راح اقدر اعيش وانا شعري طويل، فخلني احلقه مره واحده.
But if you do win the Riyadh Masters and it looks like a lucky charm, do you go bald like Yotoro did to win the major?
Maybe. But my next goal is super long hair. I start from now. Maybe I can go bald again because it doesn't matter. So yeah.
السؤال كان هل فوزك في رياض ماسترز لو قدرتوا انكم تاخذون الكاس هل بيخليك انك تحلق شعرك صفر مره ثانيه؟ لكن الجواب كان انه ممكن يكون هو السبب اللي يخليني اكمل على شعري زي كذا، ممكن ايضا اطوله مره ثانيه، بس عادي ما عندي مشكله احلقه صفر باي وقت.
Now, talk to me a little bit about your opponents here. Team Secret, they came in, last second switch up with Zayat, Resolution joining in as a stand-in as well. Did they catch you off guard a little bit, or did having two CIS bros on the other side feel something you were too familiar with?
Personally, I was really confident that we will win them. I think it's TI, you know. We beat Kaka, then we beat Secret, we lose first game, and now it's LGD.
يقول اللاعب انه بالعكس حتى التغييرات اللي صارت مع دخول زاياكس او حتى ريزولوشن